to Radio Eastern FM 98.1.
With live and exclusive coverage of the EFNL football season, bringing you the match of the day with score updates from all divisions.
And now we cross to our commentary team for the Radio Eastern 98.1 Match of the Day coverage.
Well, yes, welcome to the Eastland Match of the Round live from the Pat Wright Senior Oval. King's birthday weekend has arrived and we're out at the Bullring for a matchup that's become a long-standing tradition in the EFNL's Premier Division between Noble Park and Balwyn. The Bulls still on the hunt for their first win of season 2026 as they face a Tigers outfit that is aiming to entrench itself in the top 5 of the Premier Division with a win today. You can catch all the action right here on 98.1 Radio Eastern FM and streaming right around the globe on YouTube and Facebook. An earlier kickoff today with the seniors commencing at 1:30. The reserve currently is a tight contest. Noble Park 7-4-46 trailing Balwyn 9-8-62 with 14 and a half minutes left in the final quarter out here between the Bulls and the Tigers. I'm Josh Wood and it's a pleasure to be alongside a man who loves the Premier Division of the Eastern Football Netball League, and I'm sure he's been looking forward to this game and seeing Balwyn and Noble Park once again. Wayne Brasher, welcome, Brash.
Yeah, thank you, Josh. Two of the league's powerhouses once again sharing the King's birthday spotlight here in round 8 competition this afternoon. Doesn't matter where these two sides are on the ladder, Josh. It's always an enthralling contest, and believe it or not, it's an interesting little stat that majority of the time the away side happens to win this fixture. It's not often that the home side wins it, so that adds another little conundrum to the contest this afternoon.
It does. Another dimension to what is always a fascinating contest between the Bulls and the Tigers. We won't have any pre-game guests since it is a shorter pre-game this time around, unlike obviously the start of the season where usually we go from 1:15 to 5:15 today as well. We will be finishing a little bit earlier due to the seniors finishing probably around 3:45, 4 o'clock-ish with the under-19 scheduled for a 3:45 p.m. kickoff out here at the Pat Wright Senior Oval. As mentioned, the reserves currently playing at the moment. But let's touch on Noble Park, who we're seeing for the first time in season 2026. And they haven't had the greatest start, still winless as I mentioned off the top there. A bit of a different list in comparison to last year, Brash, where up to round 7, they've had 8 new players come into their senior lineup, 6 of which are recruits to the club, and they've so far played 32 players this year. It's a lot younger in comparison to, 3 or 4 years ago, but definitely to last year, where they had some good top-end talent that has unfortunately departed the club.
Yeah, it's interesting the dynamics of the Noble Park Football Club over the last 2 to 3 years, Josh. It has been a changing face of the football club. They enjoyed really good times when they had Kyle Martin and Jackson Sketcher here. They were the leaders, and now and they've obviously had some players, senior players that have come and gone as well, and now they're sort of in a rebuild situation, life for Noble Park this season and last season it finished well for them, but this year so far I think if you asked the hierarchy whether they'd be sitting 0-7 at this stage of the season, they would have said no. But the thing is, when you look at their performances statistically, they're still in matches and they're still competitive. It's not like that they're getting blown off the park in terms of disposals and possessions. But however, when you can't get your hand on the football, it's very hard to influence a game of football. And at the moment, the league average for disposals is around 312 in this division. Well, they're only averaging 276, so it's really hard when you've got sides like Berwick this year who have been able to increase their disposal count by about 50 or 60 from last year. It makes a hell of a difference when you can get your hands on the ball more and you can influence a contest. And I think this is defensively, while Noble Park are still defensively very good, it's in their forward 50 that I think is where the issues are for them.
Well, I think they've added a goal kicker into their lineup who's on Noble Park's senior debut, Charlie Schneider. Kicked the 46 goals in the Hume District Football Netball League last year and represented the league. So maybe that adds another dimension. Jay Verhagen from another league. But the thing is, these players are all coming across from different leagues. There's some that are even coming from interstate, like a Sam Glyde, for example, played most of his career in Sydney, as did Nicholas Einord, who's put together a great season so far, and particularly the weeks leading up to the King's birthday break was performing really well. So maybe they're finding it a bit different to when they were playing up in Sydney. Probably still a pretty decent standard up there, but obviously a different ballgame when you come down here.
I'm 100% agreeing with you here, because when you're bringing in a group of players all at once that don't understand the lay of the land at that football club, trying to integrate them into a cohesive team playing consistent football is not easy. It's not easy.
Yeah.
Then you throw in the other curveballs, injury.
Mm-hmm.
If those players are out injured, then you're relying on your depth of the football club to fill the gaps. And then you've also got to add, Josh, the other element, the VFL listed player that comes back to the club. So all of a sudden, you've got a whole dynamic where you've got to try and juggle all these different marbles to try and come up with something coherent every week. And the thing is, there's nothing worse, right, than injury. There's nothing worse, because if you've got injury to your key players, and and we're seeing it with the top sides, and Balwyn, in point of case, is probably one of them. When you don't have your best side on the park, and we keep saying it week in, week out, and I know we turn around and say, but we can't keep using it as excuses. It's not the fact that the clubs are using them as an excuse, but the statistical analysis tells you that if your best players aren't playing on the park and they're not playing consistently on a week-to-week basis, you're not going to be competitive, or you're not going to win games.
Well, they're missing a few key players at Noble Park. Liam O'Rourke's went out in their Blackburn game, and he's their leading goal kicker and still young into his senior career. They've missed out on Jacob Noble, who comes back in. I think it was a hamstring, I remember reading somewhere, that he suffered and missed a fair chunk of the start of the season at least, but comes back into the lineup today. And I think there's a couple of others missing out of the lineup as well. One of their new recruits, they announced in the off-season, William Kennedy, who has VFL experience. So it's a really young lineup, and just looking through it as well, of their 22, only 4 have played 100 or more senior games.
That's exactly what I was just saying, Josh. Just having a look at this list of players, I think that from the Noble Park I know, I think I can only probably identify 6 to 7 players. Right, that I've known through my years with the Ian Fennell. That's how much this list has changed.
It's changed so much ever since, well, particularly, on top of Martin and Sketchy, you had Luke Ball leaving the club. I remember Jake Gaines was around during that successful period as well.
Didn't they have the guy last year, the left footer? Played from St Kilda.
Brad Crouch.
Yeah, he's gone.
Yeah, I think he's gone to Ballarat. They had Josh Stern as well.
And then they had the other guy, the left footer that played from St Kilda.
Gilbert as well.
Yeah, Jake Gilbert.
Yeah, that's
there's a lot. That's a lot of experience leaving your club all at the one time. You can't replace that overnight.
And sometimes youth can be a bit unpredictable, and we saw that against a side like Roval, where they were competitive until the late stages, where Roval just snuck over the line. And you could argue against Blackburn, they were pretty competitive as well. Obviously went down by 30 points that game. The only game they've really been blown out of the park was against Berwick about 3 or 4 weeks ago, where they lost by 99 points to the Wickers, which was their biggest winning margin. So
you're right, but that's the thing, when you've got young players, you've got to factor in that they're learning and they're going to make mistakes.
Yeah.
And that's where the inconsistency in form rears its ugly head.
Sometimes, and that's where sometimes they can fade out in different quarters. And they've got a great coach in Steve Hughes, who's always done a magnificent job and will galvanise this group.
Yeah.
And I think the group will have will have been pleased to have had last weekend off, unlike all the 8 other Premier Division sides that took to the park in round 8, or the first part of round 8 last weekend. Let's touch on Balwyn, who...
Before we move off Noble Park, I want to talk about one player, Josh, that you and I that discussed on the way down, and that's the co-captain McDonald.
He's been exceptional.
He's had a fantastic year. He's averaging 28 disposals this season, and he's led from the front. And the East Ringwood game was his game high of 35 disposals. So that's the one thing you know about McDonald, that when the big sides come, he steps up to play. And the thing is, when Sketcher and Martin were here, it was almost like he was playing second fiddle.
Yeah.
Even though he was good, like averaging his 15, 20, but I think he's actually matured a lot more over the last 2 years since they've gone, and assumed the mantle of, as a key leader of the football club. And I tell you what, I think his performances over the last 2 years are much better than what they have when, now that he's the man.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. I remember playing a bit more of a wing and rotating through the midfield when you had guys like Sketcher, Horton Milne as well, who's obviously...
He was actually playing that loose man off the half-back line.
Yeah.
Right, and that gave him... And the thing is, he wasn't getting their best... And at the time, he wasn't getting the best backman either.
Yeah.
Now clubs have identified that if they can shut him down, it's going to go a long way into in their line of thinking of winning the game of football.
Absolutely. Let's touch on Balwyn, who in their last 3 games, despite still missing some key names like Bowen Smith, Jamie Ridd out of the lineup, a couple of VFL names as well, in Jared Lynott, of course, Will Lamotte, Seb Wolf, and Taj McCarthy, some of the players out of the lineup as well. They're still undefeated. Obviously had that draw with South Croydon, but wins at the bookends between South Belgrave and Doncaster East has held them in good stead. And as mentioned, they can entrench themselves in the top 5 with a victory out here, and still with some names to come back and put them in a good position heading into the second half of the season with a win here.
Well, it's almost like it's actually, believe it or not, it's a season of transition even for Balwyn, Josh, because, look, in previous years, they've always had a steady lineup and were able to rotate their VFL players in, because they didn't probably have the injuries that they've got this year. And it's probably hit them, and this year I think so far, it's probably been a bit of a double whammy for them, where their regular players have been out injured and the depth is being tested, as well as bringing VFL listed players into the side as well. But the other problem they're getting there is some of their VFL players have got injured as well. Yeah. So in essence, they've been hit with the double whammy, and actually, for them to be where they are at the moment is probably testament to the playing group themselves, because they could easily be, they could be 3, they could be easily 2 and 6.
They could be 100%.
But the thing is, there's still quality. There's still so much quality in the football side itself. That won't allow that playing group to play a real, look, that loss against East Ringwood was a faux pas.
Yeah, I think that's
mate. It happens in some games. Even the top sides, they have a game where it's completely like last week, like Donvale. You can't explain it why it happened. It happened, but the thing is, but when you trust that club that they're going to come back and hit back hard the next week, because you understand the quality and the fabric and the culture of the football club. They won't allow that to happen 2 weeks in a row.
Well, they did that against, I think, Berwick, where they had similar numbers but were just a lot more sharper in front of goals and were able to get over the line in that game. So, look, I think there's a lot of class in this Balwyn lineup that, you look at guys like Lockie Young, who came back into the lineup 2 weekends ago when Balwyn defeated Doncaster East. As mentioned, Alex Urban has been absolutely exceptional.
I was just going to say, Josh, he's averaging 26 possessions. So far this year. He's had 182 disposals. So, he's basically assumed the mantle whilst Bowen Smith has been out injured. Speaking to Brenton Sanderson just before, Bowen Smith will probably be back around round 13, round 14. He's starting. I believe he's starting to run in the next week or two. So I think the plan is to get him back on the side around round 14 and get some game time into him so that he's got a nice lead up into the finals.
I was going to say it's the perfect lead up to get a bit of run into the legs and then pretty much just be raring to go for finals. Should they are in a good position to be playing finals even if they lose here.
Look, I still think Josh, that by and large, I still think that they'll have enough. They've got enough quality, and they'll still win enough games to finish anywhere between 3 to 5.
Yeah, I think so. Just touching on this reserves game, Balwyn 10-11-71 got over the line against Noble Park 8-6-54. So Noble Park winless in the reserves as well, I'm pretty sure, but a competitive effort against obviously a weakened Balwyn reserves outfit. It's still performing pretty well, I think, around the mid-table mark off the table. Of course, there's 5 other games taking place across 4 other games, I should say, in Division 3. We've got Knox-Donvale, which is an interesting game, somewhat between the Falcons and the Vales out there at Knox Gardens Reserve. I think Knox making another 5 changes. Donvale also losing a couple of players as well, including Cole Heagney, Harry Giles, and Billy McCormack out. There could be an upset. There could be an upset brewing. I still think Donvale should get over the line. They'll want a response after last week.
Yeah, well, with Donvale, they got back the experience of Tom Weir last week, and to steady their back 50. So that's going to be a big plus. I think they've had quite a few players out Knox at the start of the season, and obviously when you've got players coming in and out, and you're making 4 or 5 changes a week, you obviously know that consistency is a bit of an issue.
Yeah.
Donvale probably haven't, they've had a fantastic start to the season. They had a blip last week, but it also could be a banana peel game for them too, because they travelled to Knox last year and they got beaten at Knox last year, Donvale.
Yeah.
So, Donvale they'll be mindful of the fact, right? So, just beware. They just got to beware that that they don't, that they don't think that just because they lost last week that they're going to come back and rebound to what they were the week before. It doesn't happen that way.
It doesn't happen instantly. Not against the side that's well coached by Steve Buckle and has a pretty decent amount of talent, Knox. But I think if there was one game to be considered a roughie of the week, this game would be considered that one. So,
but I've still got Donvale. Even the worst case scenario, Josh probably winning by about 4 goals.
Yeah, I was thinking around that as well. It's still the class rises to the top, and Donvale certainly have a lot of class at the Division 3 level. The other 3 games, Upper Ferntree Gully take on Ferntree Gully, of course. Always a great time when the Kings and the Eagles...
This is massive. I've always said this is the best in terms of promotion for the local area. This is the best. This is the best derby of the year. 2 sides that just, that there's a lot at stake.
Yeah,
Absolute lot at stake when these two play each other, and there's a lot of bragging rights that go with it. Upper Gully announced themselves last week with that massive win over Donvale. Ferntree Gully, they're struggling a little bit, but they've got a very young group, right, that they're assembling. So their form's a little bit hit and miss. But up at Kings Park, tell you what, you're going to be a brave man to tip against them this afternoon.
And I do wonder the state of Kings Park with the downpour we got on Thursday night at Knox Gardens.
It's known as.
Mate, they might,
by me at least.
they might have cones around as the boundary line.
That'll be quite interesting. The other 2 games, Sylvan taking on Oakley District, and we've got the Basin taking on the White Horse Pioneers as well. I think we're both back in Sylvan and the Basin in those games.
Yeah,
right?
we'll do that.
I think we might go to a break now, Lee, and when we return, the call team will assemble for this Eastland match of the round. Noble Park taking on Balwyn at the Bullring.
me.
The one thing that puts a smile on my face is my kids.
The sun shining through the clouds, even in winter, absolutely puts the biggest smile on my face.
Seeing delicious food on the table ready for me when I get home.
One thing that always puts a smile on my face is seeing my family.
The thing that puts a smile on my face every time is really good music.
Just the simple pleasures in life.
Be remembered for the greatest moments in your life. Find out more at tobinbrothers.com.au. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
There are only 3 things that should be flushed down your toilet. Pee, poo and paper. Some wet wipes and antibacterial wipes say that you can flush them, but you can't. They clog up the toilet and pipes, causing expensive blockages. Save yourself a truckload of trouble. Put your wet wipes in the bin. To learn more, head to the Yarra Valley Water website, yvw.com.au/wet-wipes.
Hi, Dylan Dow from the Baroni Football Netball Club here. When I need to grab a quick coffee or a bite to eat, I'm popping into Eastland. Eastland's more than a shopping centre. They support a range of community organisations and have been a major partner of the EFNL since 2018. Cheers, Eastland.
You are listening to Radio Eastern FM 98.1.
With live and exclusive coverage of the EFNL football season. Bringing you the match of the day with score updates from all divisions.
And now we cross to our commentary team for the Radio Eastern 98.1 Match of the Day coverage.
Welcome back to the Eastland match of the round. Noble Park taking on Balwyn as things continue to clatter out here at the Bullring. Joshua Deere
You're throwing your phone away. Yeah. What's going on?
I'd say I spit the dummy, but that's a lie. Joshua Deere alongside Wayne Brasher, Emily Mackay to join us shortly. But in the stats centre and doing around the ground score as well, is good to have this man back, Paul Yukone. Welcome to the Eastland, back to the Eastland match of the round, Paul. Been a while.
Yeah, no, it's good. It's been wasn't there probably last 2 weeks, I reckon. But no, it's good to be back, and no, it's a great occasion, the King's birthday. So I'm looking forward to it.
Absolutely, Wayne Brasher. It is always such a great tradition, and as both captains move into the middle, and it's actually a half-decent day out here at the Pat Wright Senior Oval.
It is. The ground's in good condition. Only the cricket pitches are a little bit muddy and that, but by and large, the ground's in very good nick. The two captains are probably the two keys of the contest this afternoon as they toss the coin, and it looks like McDonald has won has won that toss, and will be kicking to the Moodamere Street end of the oval, Josh.
And that mean Noble Parking to the left of your broadcast or radio dial if you're tuning in on 98.1 Radio Eastern FM, and to the right of the broadcast, Balwyn will be kicking in this first term. And also joining us on special comment, she's a very busy woman, but we appreciate the time she's given up to us for this King's birthday weekend. It's the Sandringham Dragons assistant coach, Emily Mackay. Welcome, Em.
Oh, thanks for having me, Wardy. I'm really looking forward to this game. I'm surprised we've got a game on the long weekend, but we're here.
Yeah.
And it'll be great to see Balwyn again. We had them a couple of weeks back, and I haven't seen Noble yet. So looking forward to unpacking, what should hopefully be a good game.
Yeah, it certainly will be interesting to see the Bulls for the first time in season 2026 as well. Jared Beanland will be joining us a little bit later on in the callers chair as well, but both teams are about to move into their final huddles.
The train have a flat tyre, did it?
We digress.
I used that excuse once at school.
The rubber came off the wheels, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I got the cuts for saying that to one of the teachers.
Let's get back on track. We obviously discussed this game, or both these sides, in the build-up to this contest, Brash.
Yeah.
Some final thoughts. Do you have a tip as well and a margin?
Yeah, look, I just think I look at both these sides and I look at the matchups, and it comes down to experience against inexperience. While Noble Park do have some experience,
yep,
I just think that just over the full 22 players, I just think Balwyn have got that little bit more, and I think they'll get the job done this afternoon. But I'm thinking 4 goals. I expect Noble Park to be highly competitive.
Yeah, I'm backing in Balwyn as well. Well, I back them in on the record, and I'd say, unfortunately, I can't change my tip. But yeah.
Well, none of us, all the tipping, right? we either are all going to win together or go or lose together today, because all our tipsters have tipped exactly the same sides today.
I'm happy to go the Smoky.
Ooh.
Okay, we'll go the Smoky.
Why not? I can be the cane corns of the EFNL.
No, we've already got one.
No, we've already. Yeah, we know.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, then whatever. Well, look, we saw Noble. Not Noble. Balwyn. Sorry, yeah, Balwyn a couple of weeks ago, not at full strength, and they did play very well set up and structured. For the sake of what I said before, I'm going to go Noble Park. Look, we love an upset win, you know. So
you can be real diplomatic and say Noble Park by a point.
I was going to say 6, so
okay, well,
I'll go 5.
Well, I mean, if Blake was here, he would have tipped Balwyn, so you do have an excuse.
Yeah, well, that's true, because if I am ever stumped,
you can vote proxy for him.
Oh no, I go against Blake whenever I can, because he believes Montrose is the best team ever, and I just fundamentally disagree with that. And so on principle,
I've always fundamentally disagreed with that.
Yeah, I think that's all of us.
I think that's Paul Yukone will get your tip as well on a margin.
I think I'll go Balwyn by about 4 goals.
Yeah, I'll go Balwyn as well. 20 points the margin as both sides are in position. We've got Dan Napper and Jack Boyd in this first ruck contest as the siren rings across the Pat Wright Senior Oval to signal the start of this Eastland match of the round, and it's Napper, the first tap down to Einoid. Einoid got it to Bauer, inside forward 50, couldn't find a target. It was spoiled. Keynes there on the ground at the right forward pocket for Noble Park. Can't keep it in play, and we'll have a boundary throw-in.
I tell you what, I called it early.
You did.
Centre clearances are going to be important for Noble Park. They need to at least break 50-50 this afternoon to stay in the contest.
Especially with a guy like Lachlan McDonald and Nicholas Einoid in there, who's been fantastic in his first season with the Bulls. As Einoid coming down from Sydney as Boyd won that tap down. Ball locked up at the right half forward flank, and we'll have another ball up. 40 seconds into play here at the ball ring. At the right half forward flank as Marston's going up in this ruck contest. Boyd tapped it down to Urban, sent it to the far side wing. The big fist came in from Noble's ruckman Napper. McDonald will try to run onto it, can't keep it in play, and we'll have another boundary throw-in.
Actually, kudos to both clubs for showing a bit of foresight here this afternoon and putting the game on a little bit earlier. Gives everyone a bit of a chance to enjoy the game, but also enjoy a nice little break as well.
Absolutely. As this ball tossed back into play, Napper won the tap down and the clearance as well. Got it to Einoid, to McDonald, who's locked up by Urban. And another ball up. In fact, he's going to get the holding the ball free kick, the stand-in Balwyn skipper. So an opportunity for Balwyn to get some possession. A minute and a half played here in the first quarter of the Eastland match of the round as he goes short, searching for Noah Lever. Might have been his brother Toby who took the mark, went into the middle to Obi Chambers, searching for a handball option and deciding to ignore it. Eventually gets the kick away to McDermott, who'll be spoiled from behind, chopping in the arms by Dean Jones. And it'll be Lee McDermott, who's had a bit of a breakthrough year. McDermott goes inside 50. As soon as I say that, his mark's intercepted by Jacob Noble. Second game of 2026 for Noble on Frankston's VFL list this year as he goes right in front of us. The mark taken by Sam Glyde. Also another player that's come down from New South Wales for season 2026 with the Bulls. Heads in the Marston direction. The spoil came in from the Balwyn man, and it'll be happily escorted out of bounds by Liam McDermott. So 2.5 minutes played here. Still no score for either side. Noble with most of the attacking territory.
Yeah, both sides just feeling each other out at the moment, trying to look for a weakness to exploit.
Napper won that tap down. Boyd will try to run onto it. He eventually does. He's run down and going to be pinged for holding the ball.
Well, the umpires have set the tone very early on in this game about incorrect or disposal, Josh.
And it is going to be Benjamin Marston, who is closing in on 100 senior games. There's a downfield free kick going to the Bulls here, I think.
Wonder if that could be a little bit of verbal repartee from the Balwyn player that the umpire didn't like.
And it's the other Marston, Jordan, who is one of 4 players in this Noble Park side that's played 100 or more senior games. Going to be vital if the Bulls are to cause what would be an upset out here at the Pat Wright Senior Oval. A bit of an angle to encounter, but around about 35 metres out, Marston will kick from. Look straight, and it is.
Good goal.
It's a great finish from Jordan Marson, senior goal number 86, and the Bulls are on the board first after 3.5 minutes of play here.
Really great start for Noble. It's probably just what they needed just to get the foot in the door, essentially. Really liking the way that they're set up when they're having shots on goal as well, so good for the rebound too. Really keen to see how this unfolds.
So much needed that positive start as well for Noble Park. As mentioned, would want to get the upset as well out here. Would be considered a bit of an upset if they were to get over the line against the Balwyn side that's sitting inside the top 5 at the moment with a game in hand on most of the other sides, as Boyd got onto the left, heads in the Jordovic direction, got some separation on Fairbank. Will look to drive it inside forward 50 with a shank of a kick. And the intercept mark is taken. That is Jacob Noble, who's going to be vital today for Noble Park today, Brash.
He will be, and the thing is, the Balwyn forwards are going to have to learn that they're going to have to run and keep side on side with Noble.
As McDonald went to the right half back flank to Jones. Jones got a handball away to McDonald, who was taken high. Too ferocious the tackle from Lachlan Young, the former North Melbourne and Western Bulldog, as McDonald goes short to Harley Fairbank. He's been a key part of the Noble Park lineup for the last couple of years as he goes backwards. Just reached its target of Dean Jones, who has options in his defensive 50. Looked for one of them in Taborski. Will just be forced to go long down the line when Napa is parked underneath this. Couldn't complete the grab. Schreiber's out the back. Dished a handball off to Liam McDermott, who's racked up the disposals early on. Dangerous kick. It'll pay off. Obi Chambers, a truce and a half back for the Tigers. Heads towards this broadcast side wing where Tillich is up against 2. Took a strong grab. Will wheel around and look to go further into attack, head in the Oaks direction, coming off a 10-goal performance against Doncaster East. Got the quick handball away to Wise. Wise to the hotspur where Jack Boyd is. Forced the contest on Napa. Jordovic out the back with the speed, and it's rushed through in the end by Dean Jones. Would have been a great goal from the former Don Vale Premiership player, but it's just a minor score.
Saved the goal there, Josh.
Yeah, it was. You're right, Paul.
That was the first scoring opportunity that Balwyn have had. It was also the first deep entry that they've had as well. So they're going to have to be doing a little bit more of that and capitalise on their tools.
It looks a bit sore here.
Ooh,
Fairbank.
Keep a close eye on Harley Fairbank. It may have just needed a bit of mileage on the legs to recover from that injury as he went to the right half-back flank where it's spoiled out of bounds by Lockie Young.
One of the things I think Noble Park, what they're going to have to play is a game plan where they're going to have to have a very high disposal, uncontested game to try and deny Balwyn the ball for most of the afternoon, Josh.
As Boyd won that tap down to Lever, inside forward 50. Noble again with the courageous grab. Will go short.
They're going to be able to do that, Brash, because they've currently got, it's like a 5-on-2 in the back line at the moment, so it's easy for them to intercept here and kick the ball down the line as they've just done, but they're struggling to convert past the halfway point.
Agreed.
As Riordan went out to the far side wing, a marking interference free kick paid to Caden Schreiber, the former VFL man, back full time with the Tigers this year, called to play on. Will go short and find Flynn Marshall, still on the far side wing of the Pat Wright Senior Oval. 7 minutes played here first quarter as he goes back to Schreiber. Twing wing and half back for Balwyn into the middle. It was a dangerous kick, fell short of Wise, who was tackled upon immediately by Benjamin Marston. And in the middle of the Pat Wright Senior Oval, we'll have a ball up as umpire looks to waste no time. McDonald will get a tap down, add to his Premier Data ranking points, and almost a forward 50 entry, but it's Young who runs onto it, handballed it off to Slimming, found a bit of space and went inboard searching for Markovski. Overcooked the kick to him, instead went to Urban, who threw it away according to the umpire, and it's a free kick to Kevin Keane. Right in front of the scoreboard, which reads Noble Park 1 straight 6. The Balwyn 1 behind after 7.5 minutes of play here. Short the kick. That's Harley Fairbank, who again has racked up a few disposals early on. We'll look to go with a short hit-up option in Ben Marson.
Yeah, Balwyn's disposal efficiency at the moment is very low. They're really struggling to hit a target at the moment, where Noble Park, when they get the ball, they're controlling it and they're playing just playing a little bit more with purpose at this stage of the game.
So he goes short to Kevin Keane.
Yeah, you can really see that with the tempo in that Noble are having at the moment. The game is really being played in the middle of the arcs, to be honest, because both teams are flooding back and having numbers behind the ball, which is allowing for these key intercepts. But there's nothing really happening. There's no deep entries is what I'm trying to say.
No.
So it's very hard for them to, either team to really contest at the moment.
Keane will go back for the shot here. Knows how to find the big sticks. 60 goals over his senior career. As he goes to the near the goal square. Out the back was Luke Molinaro, one of the young guns of this Noble Park side. The kicker from defensive 50 will be immediately put inside forward 50 by Oliver Knuckles. Coming across from the Essendon Duda Stars this year. Goes inside forward 50. Marson nearly took the grab. It was a good spoil by Lockie Young.
And again, this is where those deep entries, at least they're getting something on the board. That's the only time there's been any sort of conversion.
Paul Yukone in the stats centre.
Yeah, something that's helping generate those forward 50 entries for Noble Park is their intercept marks. They lead that 4-1 in that statistic at the moment.
As it's 1-1-7 Noble Park playing Balwyn, one behind. 9.25 minutes gone as Balwyn have moved this from defence to attack in an instant. Oakes kept his feet, handballed it off in the direction of Elliot Carlin, who was locked up by Jacob Noble, and a ball up inside forward 50. About 40 metres out from the Noble Park goal, from the Balwyn goals, I should say, as Boyd goes up. Goutlauck won that tap down. No clearance winner as of yet. Knuckles is locked up immediately, and we'll have a ball up. We'll have another stoppage inside forward 50 for the Tigers. Boyd dragged Goutlauck out of the ruck contest illegally, and I'll welcome in Jared Beanland for the first time to the broadcast.
Thank you very much, Josh. Very rude of them to start without me. I can't imagine it. Schreiber ends up winning the holding the ball free kick. He's going to send it forward for Balwyn. An opportunity to try and muster their first goal.
That was such a smooth entry.
Thank you very much, Emily.
You would have been early for the 220 game. So
yes, well, that was the plan. As the ball idly was, looks like it was a free kick in the marking contest. The recipient will be Jacob Noble.
Started well, Noble.
And his kick was a misfire. Sorry about that, Brash. As Balwyn will turn it over. Trying to find a path through his lever. Shots at goal, but just drifted to the right. It was a decent effort, but just not able to get away from the pressure.
We saw in Balwyn's game against South Belgrave that they do really well in getting the ball forward by driving their legs. And that is a great example of a nice forward 50 entry, a scoring opportunity just by running and taking the game on, which both teams are going to have to do that to break those numbers that are setting up defensively as well.
Especially when both sides don't look like they have a recognised centre-half forward to play through.
Oh, absolutely. That's why the game's been mostly played within the two arcs.
Fairbank short. Callum Morgan from East Brighton this year as well. Goes searching in the Goutlauck direction. There's a high free kick paid to Balwyn, who are starting to gain the ascendancy. And it's Yannickadakis sporting the bright green boots. And with a distinct surname, will be certainly unmissable as he goes inside forward 50. Noble again.
Oh, he's having a picnic at the moment.
They're just bombing it in long, Balwyn, as he gets it short to Einord.
I'm really impressed with the way that Noble are playing. They've been able to set up defensively so well.
As Quaife now has possession of the footy. Back to Noble.
So I mean, they're going to play high. They've got to play high contested or uncontested football, and try and deny Balwyn as much of the football as they can, as well as trying to create scoring opportunities.
Jordan's got an option in Jay Verhagen, sporting the number 61 today, the former Gembrook Cockatoo man. Goes long to the left half forward flank, where Keane will force a contest. Yannickadakis was there, crashed the pack. Noble have the numbers on the ground. Spinning around the world there is Jordan Marston. Still got the handball away. Einord under immense pressure. Dished it off to his teammate, who turned it over to Schreiber. Schreiber to Noah Lever, and he goes short to Caleb Jordovic.
Jordovic finds the handball over the top. The running legs of Lamotte. Another handball over the top, but disrupted there by Riordan. The boundary line will probably win this one, as it was Taborski who made sure of that.
And that was that first bit of run and carry that we've seen from Balwyn coming out of defensive 50, which has got him up, halfway up. But there's no target, as you were saying before, Brash. There's no one to kick to. So it's very hard for them to start converting from that.
Back into play it will be as the Rucks go at it. The tap by Yannickadakis read very well by the Noble mids. The handball just missed its mark as the pressure will come and collide, and Urban was the main culprit. Ball up on the wing. Gatluak gets the tap. Read well again, this time by Balwyn though. Tackles and tackles. Noah Lever buries his man. Suleimani will have another ball up. Bit of an arm wrestle on the wing currently. Now it's Balwyn with a bit of clear air. Urban's handball missed its target and invited the pressure. Yet more tackles.
Despite the fact that the ball is quite contested, I'm very impressed that neither team has started to cave in and put numbers around the ball yet.
Paul in the stat centre as we will probably head for another ball up.
The clearances at the moment are 6-2 in favour of Balwyn now, and the inside 50s are soon to be 9-5 in favour of Balwyn.
It's Carlin this time with an opportunity to send Balwyn inside forward 50. The target was Oaks. He had 2 to beat, and Noble Park will be able to rebound. Still in play, however. Fairbank was the handball option, but the handball didn't get there. Lamotte fires away into the pocket. Probably a decent result for Balwyn. It's going to be a throw-in.
But there was no talk, Jared. I could hear from here. There was no player telling him to steady. You got 5. He could have easily kicked a goal then.
He almost kicked that in an instant.
Yeah.
Lamont.
Hey, Brash, how can you hear them not communicating?
Because I heard them. I was listening. No one was saying they were clear. You're clear.
As Napa won it down, searching for Einord. Urban try to bustle his way through. Can't against Napa and Oliver Knuckles there. Napa coming back into the lineup, having played a couple of weeks ago for the Bulls. As he won that tap down, we'll give it to him anyway. There's a holding free kick found to Nicholas Einord. As mentioned, coming down from Sydney this year, and in the last 3 to 4 games has made an impact as his kick is spoiled out of bounds by Harry Wood. We'll have a ball in. We'll have prime view of this stoppage. 15 minutes gone, first quarter. It's Noble Park 1-1-7, leading Balwyn 2 behind. It has been a bit of an arm wrestle so far this Eastland match of the round. The traditional King's Birthday clash in the Premier Division as Napa won it down. Riordan got a handball away to Einord, who was under immense pressure. Turned it over to Urban. Yannickadakis went inside forward 50 with a grubber kick. Carlin was there under pressure, as was his teammate Jack Forge, and another ball up will ensue.
Looks a bit of an Ange Christie type, that number 39, Josh, that I can't pronounce.
Boyd won it down. Einord racking up the disposals early on. Intercepted by Schreiber. Tapped it to Noah Lever. His kick was smothered. Sam Glide locked up. Here's a mouthful to pronounce that one. We had it a couple of weeks ago when we saw South Belgrave and Balwyn.
Yeah, that's the one that I remember the most.
Ball tossed back up. Napa won it down. Bauer, Urban and Napa were there. Another ball up will take place in the middle of the Pat Wright Senior Oval.
Do we go Yannickadakis? That's how we pronounce it.
We'll go Yannickadakis.
That's what I've been going with.
Yeah.
Well, here he is against Napa. Yannickadakis does get the tap. Roved, though, by Riordan. Has to endure a tackle from Yannickadakis. Gets the handball away to Napa, and his kick was a bit rushed, turned over. Schreiber took the mark. Trying to look for options on the outer side. Has to play on in front of Marston. Has some time and space to take a bounce. Looking and looking for options. Tillig is there. Whistle's gone. And there must have been an infringement in the upcoming marking contest, so Tillig will take it. He'll play on. Inside forward 50. It's all Noble Park, though, and it was Jacob Noble. Just spilled out of his hands to Boyd. Boyd gets the handball away. Snap around the body from Balwyn. Just trails over the boundary line. We will have a stoppage.
Yeah, they're going to have to, Balwyn are going to have to figure out what they're going to do. Again, it was another 5-on-2 in the defensive 50 for Noble. So they're going to have to either carry the ball in, run the ball in, or kick that ball really, really deep.
Back into play it goes. Boyd to attempt the tap out. It's been sharked, though, but Balwyn, snap around the body. Brilliant smother by Noble Park. It comes to Slimming. He's going to have another shot at goal. And I'll wait for the goal umpire.
He's going to console.
Yep.
They're going to the arc, are they, John?
Score review.
And it's just the one behind, so Harley Fairbank will bring it back in.
Well, you just couldn't, the crescendo didn't come for you there.
No.
There'll be other opportunities, I'm sure.
There'll be plenty with some class on ball inside, and a guy like Caleb Jordovic, Stephen Slimming as well. And plenty for Noble Park as well. There's Fairbank with a dangerous kick. Paid off to Bauer. Sporting Jackson Sketches old number 9. Back to Fairbank. Fairbank to Callum Morgan. Chipped it over the top. Searching for Keane, but it's Silvani who intercepted. Put together a good season. Was key in Balwyn's victory when we last saw them against South Belgrave. holding Tim Smith to only a couple of goals in the end that day as he goes long inside forward 50, 2-on-1, and the two of Noble win out. Callum Morgan out marking Jack Tillig in the right forward pocket for the Tigers. Chips it over the top, searching for Einord, who I've been impressed with to start this game.
Don't want to state the bleeding obvious, but the back 50s of both sides are well on top here.
They certainly are, as Einord goes to the broadcast side wing. Goutlock locks up Lachlan Young.
I think it's just kudos to the midfield pressure from both teams,
Yeah.
really. That's why it's so hard to break through.
Or maybe they're struggling because they've got to start 50 minutes earlier than normal.
As Boyd got the handball off to Schreiber. Schreiber to his running teammate in Markowski. Has open space, goes for goal, and finishes! Isaiah Markowski gives Balwyn the lead, 139 to Noble Park, 117 after 19 and a quarter minutes first term.
And that was the run and carry that I think that we needed to
Yeah.
see. One of the things that Balwyn did really well against South Belgrade when it was quite congested was that they ran it out of contest, and then also their forwards came up nice and high, which is what happened there, so they were able to kick it over the top.
Yeah, they got the space. There was a space they got.
So they're going to have to probably condense for the rest of the game and then just get the ball over the top.
And having a guy like Isaiah Markowski as well, who provides that run from a stoppage and spread as well, is also very handy, Jared.
I mean, it's almost like this is a game really designed for half-forward flankers and wingers today.
Back into the centre. Tap came from Boyd, but roved by McDonald. Wow, good little step by Bauer. Able to find some space. The 1-2 with Napa. He's going to shoot at the goal square from the arc. Over the top. That was wise.
I almost would have gone a bit selfish there and gone for goal.
Potentially, yeah.
Because he had the run.
He did have a lot of space. As we'll see whether or not this will come out through Keane. Scrounging at ground level, the lot of them.
Curious to hear the centre bounce clearances and who's on top of that.
Paul have some centre bounce clearances.
Noble are doing real well.
Back up we go. Boyd tried to take it out of the ruck contest, tackled immediately.
What we got in the clearances, Paul?
Yeah, so the clearances overall 8-5, but I reckon the centre clearances are a 0-0 draw at the moment.
Okay.
I think Noble will be very impressed with that.
Boyd again using his height to perfection as Markowski got the clearance and the kick came away. It's Elliot Carlin to try and track this to the boundary line.
Was that Noble on top for the around the grounds? Or
Balwyn.
Yeah, thanks.
Maybe probably partially they're not going through the midfield because of the condition of the midfield. So they're all going to play wide.
Back in we go. Napa. Just a wild swing with the arm. Didn't connect, but was able to get it at ground level. Feed it out. It's come to Isaac. Trailing ball towards the boundary line. Keane had to kick around the body. Still a skirmish here as Lamotte laid the tackle, but over it goes.
Such a dumb question. And no such thing as a dumb question.
No,
Is there lasso rule in EFNL?
No, not in the senior men's. In the reserves, 19s and women's, I'm pretty sure there are, but not the senior men's.
Cool.
So back into play. Boyd will just take it out of the ruck contest, feed it to Urban, able to endure the tackle, gets the handball away, and Balwyn will go forward again. Here's that run and carry we've been talking about, but stopped in its tracks by Jacob Noble.
Right up back flank for Noble Park. He has it. Goes with a searching kick down the line in the direction of Napa up against his direct ruck opponent in Boyd. Shrugging a tackle there is Keane. Goes inside forward 50. Searching for Ben Marson. His skipper applies the tackle on Caden Schreiber. And another forward 50 entry. Paul Yukone stats
Yeah, statistic that that Noble are dominating in is the intercept marks. They lead that 7-2 at the moment.
As McDonald bursts from the stoppage.
That's in. I reckon he's dobbed that in. Yeah,
he has. An early contender for the Tobin Brothers goal of the day from Lachlan McDonald. That's a great finish from the Noble Park co-captain, and the Bulls hit the front once again.
Just want to reiterate, you heard it here first. I'm getting the smoky today. Noble's going to win.
You did say that. It's true. They have looked really good, though, and a bit more efficient inside forward 50. Paul, do you have those inside 50 stats?
Yeah, so they've only had the 7 entries, but they've had more scores. But a lot of the Balwyn's entries inside 50, they're just bombing it into those, just adding to that intercept mark while they're dominating in that statistic.
Balwyn's entries are very, very shallow, so that makes it so much easier to intercept.
It's probably going to be part of the message from Brenton Sanderson at quarter time as McDonald tries to make sure there's another goal on the board for Noble Park before then. Silvani able to just tap it over the line. That's from the stoppage by McDonald. It was, idle kick by Barry. Has to receive the handball back. Not a great kick there by him either, but Urban was able to make it good. His kick turned over. Fairbank upended. Tilly goes over the top. Ball in hand. Able to fight off a tackle, get the handball away, but Quaife was in the way. Now Callum Morgan with a hawking boot towards the half-forward line, punched away by McDermott.
And where Noble Park also doing well are those 50-50 areas of the contest. They're winning some key contests as well.
Yeah, well, they've been able to get front of the contest. That's why they've been able to do so well defensively there and do those intercept marks, Brash.
Yep. Whistle gone from the ruck contest, and it's going to go the way of Noble Park. Marson.
You let him know about it as well, Ben Marson, with that holding free kick.
This is Ben Marson. Oh, gives Boyd the step and is going to fire away a goal. This is going to curl back, but no. Just the 1 point. That would have been impressive.
So Noble 2-3-15 playing ball in 1-3-9. One straight kick in at 24.5 minutes gone, first quarter. As we wait for the ball to return. I'd say 26, 27 minutes this quarter, Brash.
Yeah, wouldn't be any more.
There's been a few stoppages and a few goals so far, but overall, it's been pretty free-flowing as Noble will fly in this contest at the left half-forward flank for the ball. Slimming got it to Urban. Urban's kick, not 15, certainly not 15, not even 5, as he got it to Boyd, who went over the top to Jack Tillich.
I'm doubting your maths here.
Well, maths is better than Blake Tennant, says Tillich goes down the line searching for Jordovic.
Damning yourself with faint praise there, Josh.
Well, as I mentioned, I think a couple of weeks ago, I'm only a further maths student, so ball toss back into play. Napper up against Yannickadakis. Yannickadakis won it down to Chambers. Nearly stolen away from him by Riordan, who locked up Yannickadakis. Another ball up right in front of us. 25.5 minutes played first term out here at the Bullring. And what is in front of a decent crowd out here at the home of the Noble Park Football Club as Chambers went inside forward 50. Jordovic, he might have almost kicked it out of bounds on the full, but it's just going to be a boundary throw-in.
Yeah, good crowd for a King's birthday weekend.
Ignore me, Noble was trying to fool us all.
I think it initially went off the boot before it was smothered out of bounds as Yannickadakis won it down. Looked like a really good tap in the direction of Lever, who couldn't take clean possession. Quaife tried to clear his defensive 50, headed in the Marson direction, bullocked his own teammate in Einord, applies the tackle on Young, who broke free, got a grubber kick away, searching for Markovski. Noble's out the back and is escorted over by Caleb Jordovic, and another ball in will take place. 26.5 minutes gone. Noble 2-3-15 to Balwyn 1-3-9.
Actually, this type of contest actually suits Noble Park much better than Balwyn. Balwyn like to run and have open field. They're not getting that at the moment.
Markovski gives away the high tackle on Quaife. So the pressure valve released for Noble Park. As Balwyn were threatening to tie the game up.
Experienced player Quaife, he's going to have to perform well again this afternoon.
Oh, down the line, slimming over the top. Sorry, that was Lamotte. But...
And you've been denied your moment again, Jared.
Dear, oh dear. Well...
Come on, umpire.
He's going to get it back with a much lower mark in terms of verticality. Lamotte, and he's just sent it, wasted the opportunity as Noble is going to get the 25-metre penalty. That was agricultural.
Cool. And Paul, you can't hit on it before. They're just kicking into their forward 50 willy-nilly. And Noble's having a picnic down there at the moment. Yeah, I mean, you could, every time he goes near the ball, he's taking a mark or having a kick.
And the siren goes to sound the end of the first quarter here at Pat Wright Senior Oval. Noble Park lead 2-3-15 to Balwyn 1-3-9. We'll be back to you with an interview with one of the coaches after this break.
No
boundary riders.
As Sarah opened her best friend Jackie's wedding invitation, she was overcome with a wave of emotion. While her two young boys wrestled on the floor, tears of happiness rolled down Sarah's cheeks as she saw the words she'd been longing to see. Please note, this wedding will be a child-free event. Well, Sarah, looks like we're off to Eastland for a new frock and some heels. Let's book in that babysitter. For all of life's little moments, there's Eastland. Eastland. Live real.
At Yarra Valley Water, we know reducing your shower time, or show time, to 4 minutes can save you an average of $200 a year on water and energy bills. Shower shorter. Save water. Authorised by the Victorian Government, 1 Treasury Place, Melbourne.
Sprained your ankle, bursting through the banner? Broke a finger, high-fiving the ruckman? Or did you run into the goal post again? For bumps, breaks or bleeds, be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department. The preferred provider of emergency care to the Eastern Football Netball League. You'll generally experience shorter wait times. You don't need private health, but there is an out-of-pocket fee. Be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department, 262 Mountain Highway, Wantirna.
Do you feel good about your bank? Because there is a bank you can feel good about. They share their profits to fund big community projects, small community clubs, and vital emergency services. They've given $250 million to help Australian communities thrive. They have all the products and tech you expect from a big bank, with service you don't. It's Bendigo Bank. Feel good about who you bank with. Try Bendigo. Search bendigobank.com.au or search Bendigo Bank near me.
The superpower I'd love for a day is to fly.
If I could have a superpower for a day, it would be to time travel so I could go back and see how life was when my parents were young and stuff like that.
Be mind reading. It's always good to know what other people are thinking.
At Tobin Brothers Funerals, their superpower is always providing compassionate care to families at their absolute time of need. Get to know the team at tobinbrothers.com.au. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
Hi, I'm Ben Desson from Montrose Football Netball Club, and when I need a new kit for a night out, I head over to Eastland. But Eastland is more than a shopping centre. They support a range of community organisations and have been major partners of the Eastern Football Netball League since 2018. Thanks, Eastland.
You are listening to Radio Eastern FM 98.1.
With live and exclusive coverage of the EFNL football season. Bringing you the match of the day with score updates from all divisions.
And now we cross to our commentary team for the Radio Eastern 98.1 Match of the Day coverage.
Welcome back to the Pat Wright Senior of the Eastland Match of the Round. Traditional King's Birthday clash out here at the Bullring, and it is Noble Park 2-3-15 leading Balwyn 1-3-9. Josh Ward here alongside Jared Beanland, Emily Mackay, Wayne Brasher and Paul Ukone. We won't have an interview, unfortunately, because we don't have any boundary riders for today's contest out here at the Pat Wright Senior Oval, which is just us five out here for this traditional King's Birthday.
The only five that matter.
Yeah, absolutely. And one of the more important members is our stats man, Paul Ukone, who I'll throw to you, Paul. Some of the stats from that first quarter.
Yeah, the clearances in that quarter, 10-8 in favour of Balwyn. The inside 50 marks, 1-0 in favour of Noble Park. Intercept marks, 8-2 in favour of Noble. Tackles 10-9 in favour of Balwyn. Inside 50, 16-9 in favour of Balwyn, and the free kicks 10-5 in favour of Noble.
Some interesting stats there, thanks to Paul Ukone. We'll go around the grounds with you a little bit later on. Of course, every other game starting at the regular time of 2:20 p.m. In Division 3, as mentioned in the pre-game. Knox taking on Donvale. The Ferntree Gully derby between the Kings and the Eagles. You've got Sylvan taking on Oakley District, and you've also got the Basin taking on the Whitehorse Pioneers. But just quickly, we've got junior interleague action as well. We've got at the Kennedy Community Centre, the under-15 boys, Blakey Tennant and Oscar Lutka are out there at the moment. And
got any scores there?
I'll have a quick look through. The under-15 boys Division 1 game would have just finished, but no update, unfortunately. I don't think any
we'll
update.
have a quick talk about what I think's happened in the first quarter here, Josh. I think Noble Park have played a really, really smart game at the moment. They're basically playing very high possession football, and they're stopping Noble Park's run and gun style of play. They've not, and in so much way that they're just basically forcing Balwyn to kick willy-nilly into their forward 50 without any purpose or without any structure.
Noble's just having a lazy Saturday at the moment.
Yeah,
Having a
yeah. And Emma, what do you think?
Well, when we saw Balwyn against South Belgrave, they played their stoppages with 2 sweepers, and they did really well to get the ball out of that contest, but Noble have nullified that kind of role. And even if they do end up getting the ball out the back, because Noble are pushing up so much, they've only got an option to kick straight down the line, so they're really struggling to actually get the ball into their forward 50, just because Noble are really in the right spots.
Yeah, the key ball when Tillich is, he's had a few touches, but he hasn't. The touches he's having are not in dangerous positions.
They're up the ground.
They're up the ground, and like I said earlier, both sides are not playing through a centre half forward because neither side have a recognised one. So Balwyn actually, they need to. They're relying on the fact that they're relying on their midfield and their players linking off that half-back line, but they're not getting that continuity in.
Yeah, well, this game would be great for any really big designated tools, as you say, in Brash. And because neither side have them, there has to be so much more run and carry through so that we can get the ball deep and then let the crumbers do the work. But that hasn't happened so far, so I'm really excited to see what that second quarter will look like.
And that's why they're missing a guy like Jimmy Miller out of the lineup this week, and we're hearing he could be out for the next couple of weeks as well. So if he was playing, then he would have had a bit of a field day as we're about to get ready for the second quarter. Just on their junior interleague, the under-15 boys Division 1 side won 85-27 over the Frankston District Junior Football League as
Very
well.
good.
So, very good performance. The 15 boys Div 2 currently taking place out at the Kennedy Community Centre as umpire holds the ball off to signal the start of the second term. Jared Beanland.
So up we go with Yannick and Daniel Napa. Ball bounces into the hands of Balwyn. Taking a slip was Lever, and lucky enough, got a high free kick. Riordan the infringer. Lamott running off the half-back line, able to withstand one tackle, dodge another. Trying to get it to Tillich, but he was outpaced by his defender. Urban was there to help out. Check your boots, Noah Lever. Unfortunately, slipping over a little bit and took too long to get up with the ball. Tackled. And we'll have the ball up. So 2-3-15 to 1-3-9. Noble Park with that 6-point lead to start this second quarter. Noble Park brought the kick into the centre of the ground, but the scraps were picked up by Balwyn, going for a bounce. This is Josh Wise, able to take space in front of him and then fire it into the pocket.
And that's what we're talking about with that run and carry. Just allows you to get that extra 10 to 15 metres. And a boundary throw-in this game it's a win as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
It will come back in. Boyd will take this ruck contest against Napa. Tried to tap it to himself. Able to get it to Markovski. He fired the handball out, but Noble was there. And he got it to Einord. Over the top was the kick. Just roved there by Wise. Tracking the boundary line, and over it goes. Appeals for a free kick, nothing doing.
And I think Balwyn is starting to isolate someone in the goal square now, so everyone else is moving up towards contest, so they're really aiming for a one-on-one if they can get the ball into their forward 50.
Ball thrown back into play. Napa won it down. Clearance won by Noah Lever, who was run down from behind. Einord got it out to Riordan, who's had a decent game so far. The former Gold Coast Sun listed midfielder. Goes the kick to the wing, and they switch it to the Bulls. Lockie Quaife running onto it, had a handball option, ignores him, instead goes inside forward 50 in the Verhagen direction. Might get hands on this footy after Lamott spilt it. He still got it away to Schreiber. Schreiber to his teammate who was under immense pressure. Still got it away to McDermott. McDermott searching for Boyd, who took a strong grab on a lead. Far side wing of the Pat Wright Senior Oval. Chipped it over the top to Young. Right in front of the scoreboard, and we'll load up with a long ball in the Tillich direction. Good body work. Couldn't complete the grab. Out the back, roving it was Forge, missing to the right. And it's just a minus score from the former Eastfield man. 1-4-10 Balwyn to Noble Park 2-3-15.
Up the middle go Noble Park immediately. Mark taken by Einord. Gets it out to the wing. Running onto it, Verhagen. He's got Schreiber for company. Tried to evade the tackle, but ball spilt over the boundary line.
That last piece of play basically epitomises what Balwyn need to do this afternoon on a more consistent basis to create those forward 50 opportunities that they need to put scoreboard pressure on.
Napa slaps it in front of himself. Riordan to run onto it. Has a teammate for company. Was able to take the space in front of him. Send it inside forward 50. Punch away by That was McDermott. Balwyn trying to come away with it. Holding the ball, it was advantage. Handball over the top. Lever tapped it back to Urban. And away goes Wise. He's got a bit of pressure coming from McDonald. Didn't worry about it. But his kick, well, he rushed it and Noble came across to take the mark.
So it's now 2 coast to coast, so from one end to the other from Balwyn. In their defensive 50, it's been a 4-on-1 and a 4-on-2, and it's easy for them to intercept. So Noble are just not getting those numbers down into their forward line, which means that they're just not getting any opportunity, any looks in at all.
Noble progressing their way up the ground, trying to go the centerward kick. Mark taken by McDonald. Indecision written across his face. He's going to send it back from whence it came.
I don't mind the lateral kick at the moment. Down the line, they're going to get outnumbered.
Yeah. That makes sense. And they're going to switch it up, potentially. Again, a bit of kick to kick as Noble sends it back. Molinaro onto the wing. No mark taken, and it spills over the boundary line. Too hard for Glide there in that situation.
And this is probably just where they're getting caught out here, because there are just no options for them to kick two kicks away, essentially. And so they have to go side by side, or side to side at the moment.
Right in front of the scoreboard, which reads Noble Park 2-3-15, leading Balwyn 1-4-10. And mostly been in Balwyn's attacking half to start this quarter as Young got the handball received from Urban. Short kick's a good one to Toby Lever at the right half forward flank. 50 metres out or thereabouts from the attacking goal square. As he looks for a short option in Jack Tilley, who is a confident person, and I would have thought would have the confidence to go back for the shot here. Balwyn's leading goal kicker last year. He kicked it into the man of the mark. Tried to put the don't argue on Fairbank. And we'll have a boundary throw in. Right half forward flank for the Tigers. 5.5 minutes played here. So only the 3 goals combined kicked in this contest out here at the Pat Wright Senior Oval. The traditional standalone King's Birthday clash as Napa Flew won the tap down to McDonald. Sends a high kick in searching for Ben Marson, who took a strong grab. The co-captain looked to play on immediately, will be called to play on. Heads into the middle where Molinaro's all by himself. Molinaro got it to Fairbank. Fairbank with a darting ball in the Goutlock direction. McDermott will run onto it. Couldn't take clean possession. Quaife could. Handball over the top was a good one to Verhagen, who couldn't get clean possession away and is going to be pinged. A great tackle from Obi Chambers. In fact, it was Liam McDermott, who really is starting to come into his own this season, McDermott. In fact, it is Obi Chambers. I tell you, as we go into the middle of the Pat Wright Senior Oval, the kick searching in the direction of Forge, who was held without it. Look to be just a little bit careful here, Forge. Plays on immediately to Lamotte. Look to go inside forward 50 in the Boyd direction. Slimming's there on the ground. Read it really well. Sets off a home. And puts Balwyn back in front again. 2-4-16 the Tigers to Noble Park 2-3-15. That's a great finish from the former Sanford man.
Yeah, that's what happens again. Noble Park just gave Balwyn too much space there. Slimming was, on the outside of the contest. On a 2-on-1, the ball fell his way, showed enough composure and slotted it right down the middle. This game is sort of like, we're looking at Noble Park and we're looking at Balwyn in ladder positions, but this is a typical game where both these sides are actually trying to fight for that 5th spot at the moment.
Noble Park to progress forward. Ball snaffled by Molinaro. Tackled as he kicked it. Keane stood under it. Brave stuff by him.
Yeah, senior player Keane. He's been in and out of the Noble Park lineup for in the years he's played at the club.
Harry Wood, the man on the mark, would be about 35, 40 metres out, I would say. And Kevin Keane to take the unimpeded shot at goal. 6 goals for the year. Gee, that's a floater, a tumbler into the pocket. And a boundary line throw in. No, a free kick.
No, can't front on it. As soon as you hit the player front on, you're giving a free kick away.
Looks like it's Jack Boyd with that free kick. Has been good today. Former Old Zaverian and a former VFL player as well, Boyd, and has had a great season as well. As his eyes start to the far side. Good kick in the end. Found Flynn Marshall. Right half back flank, looks inside his defensive 50. Silvani all by himself. Instead decides to go with the dangerous kick in the middle. Had two. Lamont flew, couldn't complete the grab. Fairbank turned it over. But Kevin Keane did really well to take possession of the footy. Although doing really well there was Harry Wood, who got the handball away to McDermott at the left half back flank. Again went into the middle, searching for Jack Tillich. Slid, couldn't complete the grab. Forced the contest at least in the middle of the Pat Wright Senior Oval. And another ball up to take place.
Neither side are giving me an impression at the moment that they're going to take, one of these sides are going to take the game by the scruff of the neck. I think this is going to be the pattern for most of the afternoon.
Tackle laid by Bauer. His Balwyn opponent still got the handball away to Urban. Urban to Young. Arms free. Spun around the world, but still got possession away in time. Got it to Wise. Wise heads in the Jordovic direction. In fact, it's Elliot Carlin who's up against two. And the two of Noble will win out and force a turnover. They eventually get it to Bauer, who's had a good game. Suleimani to McDonald, streaming through the far side wing of Pat Wright Senior Oval and heading in the Verhagen direction, who gave away a reckless push in the back free kick.
That was such a beautiful passage of play by Noble too. So disappointing to see that.
It's Ned Lamont, or in fact, Caden Schreiber will take this free kick and head in the Lamont direction. Two players with VFL experience combining as they go to Obi Chambers right in front of us at the left half back flank. Searching for options, going the dangerous kick. It was well weighted and the mark taken. A strong grab by Elliot Carlin into the middle of the Pat Wright Senior Oval he goes. Wise took the grab, went to Schreiber, broke a tackle, got the handball away to Boyd, who was under immense pressure by Noble, who gives away a holding the man free kick.
I thought the Balwyn player was a bit unlucky there because he was tackled and incorrectly disposed the ball, which the umpire didn't pay.
As Boyd went inside forward 50, kick not cut off. Spinning around is Markowski, getting the handball away to Elliot Carlin. Went outside of attacking 50 for the Tigers. Still dished it off to Marshall, inside forward 50. Ball won't bounce out of bounds. It might eventually do so through Caleb Jordovic, and a boundary throw-in will take place. Paul Yukone in the Stats Centre.
The tackles at the moment are in this second quarter are 9-2 in favour of Noble Park.
Well, that ties into one of the things that I've seen from a contest perspective. The first five metres or so, the hand pass away, Balwyn are doing really well in getting the ball, but Noble are in that 5 to 10 metre away sort of section, which means that they're able to lay those tackles, and they're also stopping that next hand pass away.
Boyd disposed, sorry Emily, Boyd disposed of Gatlak in the ruck contest, but couldn't get his kick away. And it's going to be Knuckles to get the clearing kick. It's going to come right back. Oh, not unless Einod has anything to say about it. Laid the tackle.
Anyway, the short version of that is that Noble are doing very well getting the right position on the outside layer, which means that they're able to lay way more tackles.
Another tackle from the scrimmage. It's just going to go over the boundary line, though.
I'm done for today.
Don't say that.
What I'm liking here about both sides is both of them are trying to impose their will on the contest, and at the moment, neither side can gain any advantage because of it.
So whistle's gone from that ruck contest. Not sure which way it'll go. It's going to go the way of Boyd, and this might have been a shot at goal. Yeah.
This game is so much closer than what I thought it was going to be. This is unreal.
I think that's probably the consensus for anyone looking at the ladder, even anyone considering that Balwyn, the reigning premiers, Noble Park, yet to win a game this year. Jack Boyd, he's kicked 9 goals for the year. He's going to come in, kick it right on the arc. Can he put Balwyn further in front? Yes, but by just the one behind as they move to 2-5-17. Noble Park 2-3-15. Paul Yukone in the Stats Centre.
The free kicks in this quarter are 8-0 in favour of Balwyn.
Goodness me.
That's astonishing. There's another free kick to the Tigers.
Make that 9.
9-0. As Barry plays on immediately. Got it short to Wood. Inside forward 50 to the hot spot. Out the back, the mark dropped by the Noble man. Tillich locked up by Knuckles. Got it away. Searching for Forge. There's a boundary throw in.
Is there a standout defender for any of you for Noble? Or is it just
really Jacob Noble.
Yeah. Noble, definitely.
Yep, okay, fair.
Yeah. But there's no one particularly tall.
No.
Boyd took it out of ruck, wheels onto his left and misses to the right. Couple of missed opportunities for Jack Boyd, who I've liked his game so far. Pull your Kone stats center.
Yeah, the inside 50s at the moment are 7-4 in favour of Balwyn. The clearances 5-3 in favour of Balwyn.
I think the thing with Noble is that he's playing that loose man, so it's easy for him to get those intercept marks. But from a one-on-one defensive contest perspective, it's a real team effort is sort of where I was trying to get at.
Wow, up the middle they go. Good mark taken by Marson as well, under duress. Will they continue up the corridor? Yes, one-on-one. Silvani tried to outpoint his man, not quite. But it spills out the back. Oh, Keane needs to find it at ground level. In goes Marson again. Tackles laid. Silvani, no clear possession. Great tackle laid by Suleimani. And the kick from the contest will sail to the right.
And that's what I was trying to say before about that 0 to 5 metres. Balwyn is there, but then Noble are able to get them on that 5 metre mark and lay those tackles.
Barry heads to this broadcast side wing. Marson of the Ben varieties out the back. Handballed it to Quaife. Quaife got it to his teammate. There in Isaac, who turned it over. Tillich turned it over to Abraham Isaac. Darting ball inside 50s, intercepted. Turnover City at the moment out here at the ball ring. And it is Ned Lamont, who's racked up the disposals, but at times it's been ineffective. That kick just a chip ball to the broadcast side. The mark taken by Jack Tillich, working his way up the ground. Looks to go long, the spoil, and the mark taken by Napa. It was intended as a spoil, and he somehow took the grab as he goes with a lateral kick to Taborski at the right half-back flank for the Bulls. Quaife heads to the far side, initiating the switch. Overcooked the kick to Noble, who still has plenty of time, plenty of green grass in front of him to get a kick inboard to Mitch Riordan on the broadcast on the far side wing. Heads back to this broadcast side where Napa is. Had Quaife as a handball option, ignores him, heads in the Marson direction, a true centre-half forward.
I really like this risk-taking kick down the middle of the ground. I think it just allows for opportunities like this, which they've needed. Both teams have really needed it.
Actually, I think this is probably play of the day from both sides. I thought Noble, they actually moved the ball extremely well. It must be very frustrating for their forward 50 coach because they transition the ball from back through their midfield extremely well. They just can't hit a target in their forward 50 to take advantage of their good work, but they did on this occasion.
Marson comes in, lets it ride, will go right to the line. The fly! Oh. And a brilliant mark from Verhagen.
Fair mark that.
He's a lively character, Jay Verhagen, it must be said, and that is a great mark from the Gembrook Cockatoo man, who can go at the left forward pocket and give Noble Park the lead once again.
Going the boo-na-na.
Runs around, makes no mistake. In fact, he does.
Oh, no. Unfortunate.
He absolutely butchered the 2-5-17 Noble Park to 2-6-18.
Like I said.
Oh, dear. Urban, it was a bump ball. Was able to get it back, Brash, to Lamont as Balwyn tried and work their way out of trouble. The Chambers kick was turned over. It's come to Carlin, however. Lever out to Yannikadakis. Tried to tap it to himself. Napa got in the way. Molinaro. Oh, sorry, it was Isaac. Oh, Keane just tracked the boundary line really well. Inside 50. Over the top came the fist from Schreiber, and it gave away the free kick.
Yeah, that was there. That was definitely there.
Jeez, they're getting vocal, the club, Noble.
Oh, well, that was their first free kick for the quarter. They tried to intercept. They tried to centre it, but... Oh, and over goes.
And that was what I was trying to emphasise before. It's just the fact that they just don't take advantage, Noble Park, of all the good work.
That was such a poor free kick to give away. It went to Slimming. He handballed it to Chambers, and Balwyn are away. Oh, slipped over, did Marshall. Tried to get the handball over to Lever. Good thing he was there, because Marshall was about to be consumed, but the Lever kick just trailed harmlessly over the boundary line.
Same deal again. Balwyn kicked the ball into their forward 50, and I think they're trying to invent a forward to kick to. There's no one there.
Kicking to the invisible man today.
Maybe they're looking for Miller. Maybe they think he's out on the park, even though he isn't.
Well, Noble Park. Well, this is a long down-the-line kick. Yannikadakis was there. Napa tumbled to the ground, crumbed by Noble Park. Marson tried to receive the handball, but no. Across came, this is McDermott, I believe. Noble Park will win it back again, though. And it's just a short kick inside their forward line. Bounces over the heads of the contest. Good punch away there by Harry Wood. He was under a lot of pressure there. He was one out and was able to do his defensive work well.
I know I'm probably sounding a bit harsh for both sides, but then again, maybe it's because the reason why the game is what it is because the pressure from both sides is really intense.
As Marson tapped it down to his brother Jordan.
Good goal.
And Jordan gives the Bulls the lead again.
Do we think that all of these goals are going to just come from contests like that, really crummy sort of bits of play?
Yeah,
most likely,
it seems like it, him.
Yeah, it's going to have to be, like, as you were saying, Bash, with the pressure as well, it doesn't give either team much opportunity at all.
It's almost like you're kicking goals, you're inventing them.
Well,
because that they're coming from nothing. You know, the play is nondescript.
Noble Park have lacked height for years, so they've had to build a system based off the ability to get these opportunistic goals. Verhagen is a sight for sore eyes in the forward line as a taller target.
I do wonder if they draw up that play in the backyard, the Marson boys.
Urban tried to get the clearance. McDonald tackled him. The two
and I reckon
powerhouses in the engine room.
And that's where I reckon probably the hardest coach, supplementary coach, is the forward 50 coach, I reckon.
Well, McDonald just lost the ball away to Chambers. Kicked it to a one-on-one. Tillich tried to keep it in front of himself, but flummoxed by Fairbank. Couldn't lay the tackle. The handball was turned over to Carlin. Ball still in dispute now. Good little composed kick. No, it just came unstuck for Noble Park. They had to lay the tackle.
I remember when you did a 360, it was an automatic holding the ball.
They've dropped that in the past years, haven't they? As Fairbank feeds it out, Riordan looks for the outside run. They're handballing it really well here at Noble Park. The kick, just slipped through the hands of Marson. Now McDermott is there to pressurise.
So you
Wise it was, not McDermott.
You can't afford, as a quality footballer, you can't afford to be dropping those marks.
No.
That was such a great build-up
as
well.
It was.
Yeah. Urban just able to feed it out to Wise somehow. Marshall trying to keep it in front of himself. Has a bit of time and space to try and craft a kick. Does so down the line. A man all on his own as well. It was Djordjevic. Takes a bounce. What does he do with this? This is the inside 50 kick that has come unstuck so often. It's come to Boyd. Kept it low. Kept it straight. Kicked the goal. And Balwyn are back in front.
See there, Em, they got space. And they were able to hit the target and create the mismatch. They pushed everyone over the far side from the middle over to this side of the ground, and they just opened up the fat side.
Well, that's that run and carry that we're talking about. Both teams actually did that in that last minute or so of play, and that's what's going to open up the game and create more opportunities.
But the only problem is that Noble Park aren't taking advantage of all that good play, as I've kept reiterating throughout the quarter.
Goutlock and Yannickadakis, the two backup rucks to duel in this ruck contest as we've ticked into time on. Nearly 22 minutes gone. An arm wrestle out here at the Bullwing on King's birthday as Goutlock won that tap down. Riordan slapped it forward. Isaac Barry slapped it back for Balwyn. Riordan again tried to slap, but instead it's Urban who handballed it off to Young. Young inside forward 50. Darting ball's a good one. Djordjevic couldn't complete the grab. Is there on the ground. Noble still got a handball away, but dancing his way out of trouble was Lever. Dished it off to Boyd. Kick was smothered and deflects to Oliver Knuckles. Knuckles goes short to Adam Suleimani. The ex-Roval Hawk coming across to Noble this season as he headed in the Goutlock direction. Got a holding free kick. Did Titkuth Goutlock at the right half back flank.
You're good with those names, Josh.
Again, still a mouthful. As he goes lumbering down the line in the Marson direction. Fleur Yannickadakis was out the back. Balwyn have the numbers on the ground. McDermott dashing away from his problems and getting the handball away to Chambers. Faked the original kick, then went on the left boot, heading in the Schreiber direction. Couldn't complete the grab. Tillich putting the don't argue on one. Going for inside forward 50. Oaks can't run onto it. And at the left forward pocket, this ball will be thrown back into play.
Just the last 3 minutes, Balwyn have just lifted there intensity and are really putting the acid on that back 50. Even though that wasn't a really good inside 50, they've managed to keep that ball down in their part of the ground to give themselves a chance here at a scoring opportunity.
There is someone that they haven't been able to get into the game, which is Nathan Oakes. Gutlock gets the tap down, front and centre, but it was a contest.
As mentioned, he kicked 10 goals in their last game against Doncaster East. In that first quarter, they were directing pretty much all forward traffic through him, Jared.
Yeah, absolutely. Boyd from the ruck contest over his shoulder, but just the 1 point. As Balwyn creep further ahead, they move to 3-7-25. Noble Park 3-5-23 on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard.
Boyd is the dangerous big man on the ground. If they can utilise him a lot more in the second half, it could go a long way to settling the contest.
Fairbank flirted with the boundary line. That kick still found Cal Morgan. Of course, as mentioned, coming across from East Brighton this season.
I played there as a junior, East Brighton, Hurlingham Park.
That would have been a fascinating ground to play at as Young goes inside forward 50 after taking the intercept mark and right on cue, Nathan Oakes took the grab. As soon as we utter his name, he comes into the play.
Yep.
As is the norm.
How many marks do you reckon have been taken inside forward 50 for both teams?
2 or 3. Paul, I think you've got those numbers on hand.
The inside 50 marks. Overall, it is in this quarter. It's 2-1 in favour of Noble, 3-1 in favour of Noble in the whole game so far.
I thought it would have been a bit more than that, but I can see it.
Oakes directly in front from outside the arc, drifts to the right.
And again, I reckon a lot of them would have been on that 50-metre line as well.
Yeah,
They haven't been deep marks.
No.
Yeah, they've been very shallow.
That's probably a poor miss there from Oakes.
Yeah. A few wasted opportunities.
In the game.
Yeah, absolutely.
But then again, Noble Park have left a couple of goals in the shed as well, so it's evened out, I think.
Fairbank takes the space in front of him, sends it to the wing. Good sticky hands on the wing there, and the mark's been taken. Where to from here? As Balwyn have been able to flood back, no switch option available for this kick. So mark, not quite taken by Napa. Fighting for it that was Silvani. And now McDermott finds the kick to Markovski, and the running player back to Markovski. And where to from here? Shaped an interesting kick. And now Balwyn sending it to the top of the goal square. Tillig had to come across. Slammed into the back of Suleimani. That was courageous.
That is a gutsy mark there. Gutsy mark under pressure.
That's the definition of courage right there. Maybe not Nick Rewald courage, but
near enough.
Well, Suleimani was durable enough to get up and take the kick. Schreiber over the back was able to crumb it. Handed it back to Boyd, but he was too slow to get away from the keen tackle.
You'd almost want 2 of Boyd because he's doing pretty well in the middle, and it's in a half forward as well, Jared. As half-time sounds out here. And it is Noble Park 3-5-23, trailing Balwyn 3-8-26. It's been a scrappy contest so far out here at the ball ring. An arm wrestle in the King's birthday. Traditional clash out here. Your major goal kickers, 2 to Jordan Marston, and all singles from there. As we'll go to a break and bring in the half-time crew after this.
As Sarah opened her best friend Jackie's wedding invitation, she was overcome with a wave of emotion. While her 2 young boys wrestled on the floor, tears of happiness rolled down Sarah's cheeks as she saw the words she'd been longing to see. Please note, this wedding will be a child-free event. Well, Sarah, looks like we're off to Eastland for a new frock and some heels. And let's book in that babysitter. For all of life's little moments, there's Eastland. Eastland. Live real.
Sprained your ankle, bursting through the banner? Broke a finger, high-fiving the ruckman? Or did you run into the goal post again? For bumps, breaks or bleeds, be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department. The preferred provider of emergency care to the Eastern Football Netball League. You'll generally experience shorter wait times. You don't need private health, but there is an out-of-pocket fee. Be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department, 262 Mountain Highway, Wanturna.
Do you feel good about your bank? Because there is a bank you can feel good about. They share their profits to fund big community projects, small community clubs, and vital emergency services. They've given $250 million to help Australian communities thrive. They have all the products and tech you expect from a big bank, with service you don't. It's Bendigo Bank. Feel good about who you bank with. Try Bendigo. Search bendigobank.com.au or search Bendigo Bank near me.
The superpower I'd love for a day is to fly.
If I could have a superpower for a day, it would be to time travel, so I could go back and see how life was when my parents were young and stuff like that.
Be mind reading. It's always good to know what other people are thinking.
At Tobin Brothers Funerals, their superpower is always providing compassionate care to families at their absolute time of need. Get to know the team at tobinbrothers.com.au. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
Do you want to study at the #1 sports science school worldwide? Study sport at Deakin and benefit from the most advanced sports facilities available, from running tracks to biomechanics labs, and decked out gyms to a climate chamber. Deakin have what you need to graduate ahead of the pack. Discover endless opportunities in sports science by visiting deakin.edu.au/sport. Deakin, proud sponsors of the EFNL.
You are listening to Radio Eastern FM 98.1.
With live and exclusive coverage of the EFNL football season, bringing you the match of the day with score updates from all divisions.
And now we cross to our commentary team for the Radio Eastern 98.1 Match of the Day coverage.
Half-time out here at the Pat Wright Senior Oval for the traditional King's Birthday clash between Noble Park and Balwyn, and it is the Tigers 3-8-26, leading Noble Park 3-5-23. Still got the full call team for the half-time show. Josh Wood here, alongside Jared Beanland, Wayne Brasher, Emily Mackay and Paul Yukone. And Paul, we'll go to you first for some of the stats that matter in that second term.
Yeah, so with the stats, the clearances at the moment are very close in the clearances, 17-14 in favour of Balwyn. Inside 50 marks, 3-1 in favour of Noble. Intercept marks, 11-4 in favour of Noble. Tackles, 24-17 in favour of Noble. Inside 50s, 29-17 in favour of Balwyn. And free kicks, 15-12 in favour of Balwyn.
It's certainly been fascinating, and particularly the free kick count. I think Noble had about 10 in the first quarter, or a fair few in that first quarter before Balwyn started to get the rub of the green, you could argue, in that second term. But Wayne Brasher, your thoughts on that first half out here at the Pat Wright Senior Oval?
Well, an interesting contest, and I'm trying to think how the coaches would be feeling at halftime. I think Steve Hughes would be happy, and I think Brenton Sanderson would be frustrated. And the thing is, both sides have done extremely well with their intent in pressure and made sure that neither side have been able to score freely. I also feel that Noble Park, they do transition the ball very well from back to their forward 50, but they're getting let down once again. They can't hit a target in terms of their game style, where Balwyn, their game style is they're running the ball into their forward 50 and trying to create the loose man. And their style of play looks like that it's the more winning formula than what Noble Park are offering at this particular stage. I also think that when you look at both sides, without a recognised centre-half forward, are just not able to direct traffic to a key forward to try and take that game by the scruff of the neck. So I think it's going to come down to whichever side's running style in the second half is going to hold sway. And I just got a feeling that if Balwyn can play 10 or 15 minutes of football and maybe get 3 or 4 goals in front, that might be enough for them just to blow the game a little bit open and just to give them some breathing space and then control the contest for the rest of the afternoon, because I can only really see this being probably a 12 goal to 8 game. I'm not seeing like a side kicking 22, to 13.
Well, as we sort of said in the quarter time break, is that the team that's able to run and carry, which is what Balwyn has started to do, is going to be the team that's going to have more scoring opportunities. So I think they're more likely to do that. I agree with you, Bash. I think that if they get that 10 to 15 minutes of really nice, fast play, they'll have more shots, more opportunity to get that ball deeper and have more scoring opportunities. And that's the key. It's the deep forward 50 entries. All the shallow stuff, no one's kicking from the top of 50. It's all falling into the goal square, and it's very easy to intercept.
Okay, and as I said in the second quarter, that being the forward 50 coach in a game like today would probably be one of the more frustrating coaching gigs. If you're Noble Park, forward 50, what are you telling your players?
I'd be playing 4 up towards the midfield, so bring them up and then have 2 that are probably a little bit deeper. Have them separate, so have your tallest versions, or you have 1 tall and 1 small. The smaller that can crumb, because you need to create the space. Otherwise, if they don't do that and they play everyone sort of setting back a little bit, Balwyn are way too smart and they're getting way too many defenders able to read the play, and it ends up being a 2-on-4.
Okay, now reverse the roles. And what are you telling what would the forward 50 coach be telling what would the Balwyn forward 50 coach be saying to their guys, considering what he saw probably in the last 10 minutes of the second quarter?
Well, to be honest, it's actually probably a very similar game plan. I think it has to be quite condensed in general, and it's whichever team is going to be quicker and better with their skill to run the game out is going to get those opportunities. Balwyn also don't really have a tall forward either.
No.
So they're going to have to either have 1 real deep or 2 real deep, or they have to really split and open up the ground. Now, one of the things that Noble is doing really well in this game is that they are actually going from skinny side to fat side and then back again and opening the game up, and Balwyn aren't doing that. So the only key difference between the two of them is that Noble can spread out a little bit more and have their deeper forward spread, whereas the way that Balwyn are playing, it's going to be like way more probably straight down the line.
I almost think too that Balwyn maybe should Josh direct more play through Jack Boyd being the key big man in the forward 50, because if he doesn't take a mark, he's got crummers, and they've got enough creativity in their forward 50 and players to kick goals quickly. So that's the one advantage I think that Balwyn could possibly use in the second half.
So they'd be sacrificing putting Yannickadakis up against Napa to do so, and I think Balwyn's mids are going to be good enough to be able to read the taps if Napa really starts to get on top.
What I was going to ask about with Boyd was, do you play him at centre half or is it the deep?
No, I think basically you still allow him to roam, right? Don't try and play strictly because the game doesn't allow him to play traditional centre-half forward game. That's not the way this game is being played. He's still got to be mobile enough to be able to play a more roving role in the forward 50.
So you're saying probably have him down as that tall, that's probably more sitting in the square essentially.
Yeah.
What you're sort of saying. Yeah.
So to speak.
We'll go to Paul Yacone for some of the Division 3 scores taking place this afternoon. Paul, do you have some scores from those contests?
Yeah, so in Div 3 at the moment, Knox and Donvale. Donvale lead 4-2-26 to Knox 2-4-16. Oakley District lead over Sylvan at the moment, 3-3-21 to Sylvan 2-5-17. Sylvan got the last 2. They kicked the first 3 goals that game, Oakley District. So that'll be an interesting one there. And the Basin 4-3-27 to Whitehorse Pioneers, yet to score.
And that's a big start for the Basin.
That is a massive start. They can pile on the goals, can the Bears. They've shown that this season so far, and it'll be interesting to see if they do that here. Just some updates on the Junior Interleague. The Under-15 boys Div 2. The EFNL leads 35 to Frankston District Junior Football League 1. 15 minutes gone. Second quarter out there. And in the Under-15 girls Division 1 game, it is the EFNL 50 leading the Southeast Juniors 8. That game, 6 minutes gone in the final quarter. So some more victories en route for the EFNL junior girls and boys across the Junior Interleague. But what are some of the keys in the second half, Jared and Brash and Em, for either Noble to get over the top or for Balwyn to eventually get over the line?
Well, I think obviously whoever takes... I think both sides have nullified each other in terms of centre clearances. I haven't seen any advantage either way to either side. suggests to me that that position's going to be won anytime soon. I still think it's going to come down. As I said at the game, I think it's going to come down to McDonald and Urban. I think that's where the game's going to be won, because they're in the midfield. They're both creative players, and they're going to have to, in terms of, they're going to have to try and create centre clearances, right, to give their forwards opportunity in the first ball as well.
And there's a lot of upside in them. They've got disposals, but maybe not at their creative best, McDonald and Urban.
Yeah, well, because they've had to roam far and wide because both their sides have needed them, right, in a more linking role rather than a creative role so far in this game.
Yeah, so before in the second quarter, I was trying to sort of describe how contest works in a game of football, and so there's different layers, and that first 0 to 5 metres, both teams are doing really well defensively to contest, and so when a team is able to get that ball out into that second layer, whoever's going to be able to do that and drive their legs and run out are going to be the most impactful, and that's going to win the game.
Absolutely. We're looking forward to the second half of action out here in the King's Birthday clash between Noble Park and Balwyn. When we return, we'll give you that second half of action out here at the Bull Ring.
Today at Eastland, Lucy's trying on jeans for a momentous occasion. Coffee with the ex. She needs jeans she can move in because she's definitely moved on. Jeans that get a second look, but don't give any second chances. Jeans that say, why yes, I have spent the last 8 months in a post-breakup juice cleansing, kickboxing, personal training frenzy. And it looks as though she's just found the perfect pair. Bravo, Lucy. For all of life's little moments, there's Eastland. Eastland. Live real.
Sprained your ankle bursting through the banner? For bumps, breaks or bleeds, be seen sooner, close to home, at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department. You'll generally experience shorter wait times. Knox Private 24/7 Emergency, 262 Mountain Highway, Wanturna.
Do you feel good about your bank? Because there is a bank you can feel good about. They share their profits to fund big community projects, small community clubs, and vital emergency services. They've given $250 million to help Australian communities thrive. They have all the products and tech you expect from a big bank, with service you don't. It's Bendigo Bank. Feel good about who you bank with. Try Bendigo. Search bendigobank.com.au or search Bendigo Bank near me.
The one thing that puts a smile on my face is my kids.
The sun shining through the clouds even in winter absolutely puts the biggest smile on my face.
Seeing delicious food on the table ready for me when I get home.
One thing that always puts a smile on my face is seeing my family.
The thing that puts a smile on my face every time is really good music.
Just the simple pleasures in life.
Be remembered for the greatest moments in your life. Find out more at tobinbrothers.com.au. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
There are only 3 things that should be flushed down your toilet. Pee, poo and paper. Some wet wipes and antibacterial wipes say that you can flush them, but you can't. They clog up the toilet and pipes, causing expensive blockages. Save yourself a truckload of trouble. Put your wet wipes in the bin. To learn more, head to the Yarra Valley Water website, yvw.com.au/wet-wipes.
Hi, Dylan Dow from the Baroni Football Netball Club here. When I need to grab a quick coffee or a bite to eat, I'm popping into Eastland. Eastland's more than a shopping centre. They support a range of community organisations and have been a major partner of the EFNL since 2018. Cheers, Eastland.
You are listening to Radio Eastern FM 98.1.
With live and exclusive coverage of the EFNL football season. Bringing you the match of the day with score updates from all divisions.
And now we cross to our commentary team for the Radio Eastern 98.1 Match of the Day coverage.
And welcome back to the Pat Wright Senior Oval. Second half of action just about to get underway out here between Noble Park and Balwyn in the standalone Premier Division King's Birthday clash. Noble Park 35-23 to Balwyn 38-26. The goal kickers Jordan Marson with 2 and a single to Lachlan McDonald for Noble Park, whilst for the Tigers all single goal kickers Isaiah Markowski, Stephen Slimming and Jack Boyd as both sides move into position. The Tigers kicking to the left of your broadcast or your radio dial to the Moodamere Street end of the ball ring, whilst Noble Park kick to the right, or in fact it'll be Balwyn who will kicking to the right and Noble Park kicking to the left as players move into position, and it looks like Yannick is going up in this ruck contest as well. So, and Jack Boyd is playing as one of the deepest targets as well. Maybe Brenton Sanderson heard you during that half-time address, Brash, and swung that mag that pushed Boyd down deeper.
Surely you'd have the commentary going on while you're coaching.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, well, I mean, Xavier Leslie at the start of the season for Churnside Park had the live stream going on during the pre-game as well. So
They've got it just around the corner there, and it's very intimidating because everyone's listening to us, and I go in and get drinks, and I'm like, you have opinions about us.
So up goes Napa for this contest. It was Yannick Adagas to actually get the tap, and Balwyn out the front of the stoppage will get there first inside 50. It bounces idly back for Noble Park, however. They try to clear their lines as Glide takes the outlet kick. Mark, I should say.
It's easy to be a critic, Em.
And who's down the line here? Yannick Adagas, he got hands to it, spilled over the back. McDermott roved it out to Urban, finds his boot. Great smother by Napa. Good stuff by the big man.
And it takes a better person to say kind words. Shout out to Mitch, who I think commented on the live stream. Nice guy.
yeah, very nice guy, I must admit. Hope you're enjoying the broadcast this island. Do let us know where you're tuning in from.
Yeah.
We always love to. we always love to give shout outs. I think there's been people from South America before, or
yeah. Well, I was on an ICE train to Berlin one Saturday just listening to the broadcast.
You did that 2 years in a row. You did that 2 years in a row, Brash.
I did, didn't I? It was fun.
McDonald sent it forward. Verhagen is there, but first to it was Schreiber. Swung down in the tackle, already disposed of it.
Funniest thing for me is, like, I see people and they go, oh, I didn't know you joined the EFL media team. And I'm like, have you been listening? Anyway, back to football. Let's go. More important stuff.
McDonald roved it. That's a high ball, as Cordis would say. Will come down with snow on it, but idly into the pocket. Quaife received the handball as Noble Park retained the ball until then. Schreiber got it back to a teammate. Good little step there. And Fairbank's going to swallow this right up on the wing. Noble Park to go forward again.
Good opportunity here to switch the ball into the middle and open up that forward line. Let's see.
And 3/4 played here in the third term. As Noble look to launch themselves into attack with a high kick. Keen's out the back, snap.
I just don't know if that's the right idea, right on boundary, when they don't have a tool to compete.
The other thing too, Em, is that Balwyn are very quick to take the switch out of play. That's why Noble Park don't get the opportunity as much as what Balwyn do to make that play.
Right forward pocket, this ball will be tossed back into play as Marston and Yannick go up in ruck. Marston won it down, searching for McDonald. Instead, it's McDermott who got a kick away and rebounded from defensive 50. Potentially temporarily as Fairbank took the intercept possession. Handballed it to Quaife with a darting ball to Jordan Marston, who could potentially be popping up as the key target. Jordan Marston inside forward 50, which is remarkable to think, just given there's a few tall targets down there. He can go back and add a third here for himself.
Yeah, well, he is a known goal kicker, Josh Marston.
I was going to say.
Yeah, I'm not saying he's very, very reliable. He goes on runs of form. He puts 4 or 5 goals together and he kicks 3 or 4.
Bit of an angle outside the arc. Lets it rip. And straight over the goal, umpires had to give Noble Park the lead once again. 4-5-29 the Bulls to Balwyn 3-8-26. 3.25 minutes gone, third term.
Love the celebration by Fairbank. Nearly flew over Marston.
You're right there, Jared.
The old Will Hayward.
That's a fair kick, though, by Marston, because it was just outside the 50, just before he released the ball. So he's kicked some nice goals in this game, Marston.
I reckon, is that the first, maybe second goal that's been scored?
I think he's
got
3 now.
He's got 3 now, Jordan Marston. Goal of the day contender?
Yeah, definitely.
There's a few so far this game. McDonald, Isaiah McCoskey.
Has he got 2 from top of 50 as well?
I think so, yeah.
They haven't been close. Marston's goals haven't been close. They've been around that 40-metre mark.
As Noble Park retake the lead. Nearly the clearance through Bauer, but he was interrupted. Balwyn, share it through hands. Find the outside from Marshall, and now Urban. Just had to hold himself up, the Balwyn player, but now it's Cullen on the outside. Oh, kick to Oakes was perfect.
Well, they did certainly work their way out of a shoebox there, Balwyn, because they were running out of territory real quick, and it was just a bit of click and some slick hands there to create a little bit of space there for that pass to give some space for Oakes to run into to take that grab.
Nathan Oakes has got one for the day. 15 now for the year. Comes in, and Balwyn do retake that lead by 3 points again. 5 minutes into this third quarter.
Is it the fact that maybe they could be getting tired and they're not, both teams are not putting as much pressure on? Because that's two very quick goals.
I always think, Em, that in these type of games, it's it is the way both these sides have been playing. It's been a pretty hard, physical, uncompromising contest. That's what I'm saying. It's going to be a side that gets 10 minutes of brilliance here.
Could it be an opportunity for either side or for Balwyn to build some momentum as Napa slaps it forward? Marston bumped out his opponent legally. Riordan off the deck to Ben Marston, who will be looking to replicate what his brother did. Points to the goal square. Doesn't have too much of an angle to encounter, but around about 45, 50 metres out, he'll kick this from the co-captain, the new co-captain of this Noble Park side. Yet to impact the scoreboard is Benjamin Marston. His experience will be vital today and in this second half if the Bulls are to cause the upset and secure their first win of season 2026. Comes in, good connection, drifts to the left, and won't be marked in time. It's just a minor score. 4-6-30 Noble Park plays Balwyn, 4-9-33. 6 minutes gone, third term.
Probably gave that a little bit too much height, trying to search for length there, Marston, of the Anthony variety.
Both teams finding much more opportunities.
Well, the Benjamin variety, I should say.
Silvani receives the handball, found himself in some space. That was a tumbling ball, and it's going to come straight to Riordan.
Well, he kicks it just like his father used to.
I was going to say.
Around the corner with Riordan. That wasn't a mark taken by Noble Park.
Is that why he's a
Bauer
not a forward?
handed it back to Marston.
He runs
Sorry,
like
McDonald.
He runs like his father as well, loping.
Ball up in Noble Park's forward line. Urban sharked it, got the quick kick away. The bounce just clean bowled everyone, and it's Gatluak able to gather it. Kicked it to true centre half forward, but intercept taken by Balwyn. Looking for the outside run was Wise, over to Lamont, and now Slimming. Onto the wing, it's Chambers. Takes the mark. Noble Park have flooded back really well to set up. Urban has a task in front of him. Was looking for the handball, goes for the short kick instead. Schreiber. Now to Slimming. He's crossed the arc. Still no clear shot at goal as Schreiber kicked it to the top of the goal square. Oakes got a hand to it, and it just went over the line harmlessly.
Another good result there for Balwyn, because that ball, looked like it was going into a Noble Park player there.
Boyd will take this ruck contest going up against Jacob Noble. There's quite a height difference. Will Boyd just try and take it out? No. Tapped it in front of Oakes. Noble Park just working in a phone box. Fairbank endured the tackle, I thought, for a second, but no, brought to ground in the end, holding the ball.
Yeah, well, you'd almost feel like that Harley Fairbanks had nearly telegraphed that free kick for the umpire. He did make it very easy for him to give that decision.
If he kicks this, though, Jordovic, this would be a damn good goal.
Absolutely. Yeah. He's kicked similar ones in the past for Don Vale. He's going to come round, too casual, and it's just the one behind. Could have done a little bit more there, perhaps, Jordovic, to open the angle up.
Yeah, I always think the more you rush, the more you're going to miss.
Mm-hmm.
You've got to pay respect to a kick like that.
His kick in goes short. In the direction of Isaac, who went back into his defensive 50. Einord started this quarter slowly, but still has plenty of possessions for Noble Park. Heads in the Goutlook direction. Now the back was Keane. It went in the end to Jacob Noble. Faked the handball on Boyd. Chipped it over the top, searching for Ben Marston. Forced the contest, and it spoiled over in the end. For a boundary throw and left half forward flying for Noble Park, as they've been able to move this ball from defence to attack. The Bulls trail, I should say, 4-6-30 to Balwyn 4-9-33. 9.25 minutes gone, third term of the Eastland match of the round. Thank you for tuning in. Radio Eastern 98.1 FM, streaming across the globe on YouTube and Facebook. And as mentioned, let us know where you're tuning in from as Jordan Marston applied the tackle on Stephen Slimming, who also has a lot of upside today, Slimming. Has kicked the goal, but can certainly make an impact, the former Samford winger. As Outlook applies the tackle once again. Still just outside Noble's attacking arc.
Well, you just never know who's listening.
Scoutlook won it down. Urban nearly read it. It's Boyd who got boots a ball. Will still be pretty much in the same spot, this time near the edge of the centre square, and another ball up will take place. So just the one goal each so far this quarter. And it still sees Balwyn lead as Boyd won it down. Urban just the handball off to his teammate who went long, searching in for Nathan Oakes. Didn't fly and took a great grab at the right half forward flank for the Tigers, calling for movement, calling for leads.
No space for any major forwards here.
So we just forced to go to the hot spot where Tillig will fly. Out the back was Quave, got a handball away to Bauer, who has green grass in front of him. Rushed the kick, forced his teammate to make a contest of it. It might work out for Noble Park. Verhagen got a handball inboard, which was a dangerous one. Ball locked up, centre wing far side.
3-point lead still for Balwyn as we tick towards the 11th minute. In this third quarter, Boyd just took it out of the right contest, got it to Slimming, tumbling ball. Well, found a Noble Park defender there, and he's going to use the space of the corridor.
Good kick that.
Brilliant kick to Bauer. He's going to go the lateral one. No options that he liked up forward. McDonald, however, what can he find? He can find Molinaro, who's worked his way into some good space.
It's the best build-up so far today as we go to Paul Yukone in the Stats Centre.
Yeah, the clearances at the moment are 6-2 in favour of Balwyn, but the inside 50s are 5 apiece.
Once again, McDonald probably had a goal-kicking opportunity, but chose the better option and set up his player in a more advantageous position to kick straight in front here.
Luke Molinaro, good for a goal a game this year. 7 goals, 7 games. From the arc it will be. And into the pocket it goes. Oh, coming out to meet it. That was great stuff to try and keep it in front of himself by 34 out there for Noble Park. Am I missing someone?
I think we might be missing someone, actually. Someone flying under the radar for the Bulls.
I know Charlie Snyder doesn't seem to be out there for the Bulls, so maybe it is him, but...
On debut for Noble Park, so...
So out of the contest goes Boyd. Well, he has so much space to work in, the big man. Just kicked it over the top, overcooked it, and towards the boundary line, Tillich came up to meet it, was able to keep it in. Good stuff by him. Got it out to, that was Wood. Idle ball towards Forge. Noble was first to it. Now to Dborski. Noble again. Had to delay the kick a tiny bit, and the mark's been taken to release the pressure a little bit as Noble Park try and go forward once more.
Might be Callum Morgan who took that mark as he goes searching for Benjamin Marston.
Nice.
Good body work on Caden Schreiber. Looks to immediately move it on in the keen direction. And another mark inside 50, albeit a shallow entry for the Bulls. And this is a tough shot on goal for, as you mentioned, Brash, one of the veterans of this Noble Park side.
Noble Park have looked a lot more convincing moving the ball into their forward 50 in this quarter than what Balwyn have. I think there were some signs there on that last forward 50 that worried me a little.
127 senior games for the 60 goals for Kevin Keane as he trots in and nails it. That's a goal of the day contender from Kevin Keane, and Noble Park retake the lead, 5-6-36 to the Tigers, 4-9-33. 13.5 minutes played here, third quarter.
Do you think it's just a quick transition and Balwyn not being able to get back in time? Is that going to be key for
Yeah,
Noble Park?
they pushed too far. They pushed too many players forward there, Jared. And what happened was it just gave Noble Park just too much time and space to pinpoint passes and hit targets.
Still forced a tough kick out there on the angle for Kevin Keane, but he was equal to the task as McDonald will get this, Marsden will get this clearance. However, coming up to meet it well was Barry. Did so well, shrugging the tackle. Napa got in the way of his kick, however. McDonald roved it, got it back to Glide, and high inside forward 50 for Noble Park. Fisted away by the Balwyn defence. Oh, it was a poor handball. Quaife disrupted it. Markovski ends up tackling. Ball up. 3-point lead to Noble Park with a veteran's goal by Kevin Keane. Debuted all the way back in 2012 it was. As Noble Park trying to stop this clearance for Balwyn. The handball came completely unstuck. Oh, the kick was smothered. Lever had to go and get it again. Tackles laid. And it's Markovski at the bottom of that.
Alex Urban's finding it hard to get in amongst the contest in this quarter. McDonald sort of upped the ante a little bit here on him.
Riordan standing next to him here for this contest. Good stuff by Napa. Riordan finds space and a handball out to Marson. Sending it forward, top of the goal square. Is there a mark? No, not quite. Falls out the back. Oh, overrunning it. Barry pushed to overrun it. And just a...
That could have been a free kick, really.
You would have thought so, potentially, but umpire wasn't lenient enough.
5-7-37, Noble Park plays Balwyn 4-9-33. As the kicking wasn't great from Young, forced to get this ball back from Urban, who faked the kick. Will eventually be forced to boot it on his left. Still an attacking 50 for the Bulls as Marson breaks the tackle. Got the handball away to Riordan, whose handball was interfered with by his teammate. Marson going to be pinged. Scrappy play inside Noble Park's attacking 50 results in a Balwyn free kick. An opportunity a couple of times for the Bulls to get back-to-back goals, which hasn't happened so far this game for either side.
But I think Noble Park is smelling a little bit of belief here.
It's funny what a bit of belief can do for a young side, as it's still in defensive 50 for the Tigers. Obi Chambers, 25. After Bauer might have moved off his mark, and Chambers is happy to oblige and quickly goes into the middle. Dangerous kick. Lamotte flew uncontested. Streams through the middle of Pat Wright Senior Oval. Heads deep in the Forge direction. Einor did really well. On the ground is Wood. Snap. Will it get through?
That's a brilliant goal.
And another goal of the day contender from Harry Wood. And Balwyn once again take the lead. 5-9-39 to Noble Park, 5-7-37. So far this game, it's been goal to goal, Emily and Brash.
It is. Go, Em.
Oh, I was going to say, that's it up there. Balwyn had Oakes as that deep play that we were talking about in the half-time sort of chat. And he led up, and still they had, so they've got options where they're just playing that one deep, which is allowing the ball to get over the top, and opportunities like that are presenting themselves to have shots on goal. I
think the frustrating thing is Noble Park have probably dominated the contest for the last 3 to 4 minutes, and they've just been done in a moment, just a moment of play, Jared.
Absolutely. So the tap found the half-backman for Noble Park, but turned over, and it's Marshall. Has Lamotte for assistance. Carlin, great mark on his knees. And Balwyn will go forward once more. Lever and Urban contested between each other for it. Urban finds himself at ground level. Whistle's gone.
Yep, head.
High free kick, and it's going to be there. Alex Urban.
It was there.
And the bull ring.
I just want to
say, not happy.
Disagree. Ned Lamotte's piece of play where he took a dangerous situation and took the ball and then ran through. Sorry, go.
Oh, well, is played on, did Urban. And the kick from Carlin has gone straight through the middle, and Balwyn have got 2 in a row.
Sometimes that's all you need. I was just going to reiterate, 5 minutes, Noble Park were dominating the contest. Two pieces of quality play, one from Ned Lamotte that set up that kick into the forward 50 that set up the goal for Wood. Once again, just a bit more pressure on the ball carrier. The ball had done and created another opportunity, Paul Yaconi.
I think that's the first time all day that either side's kicked back-to-back
goals.
Yeah,
you're right.
It is, and means it's the biggest advantage so far of this contest. 6-9-45 to Balwyn. Noble Park 5-7-37. Game starting to open up a little bit in this quarter is Yannick on that tap down. Lever tapped it to Urban. Urban to Schreiber. Schreiber in the slimming direction. Can Balwyn continue this momentum? Chambers heads long in the Nathan Oakes direction. Jordovic is there. Oakes pushed his opponent back.
Yeah, well, the umpire was right on the mark there.
And it is going to be Cal Morgan who takes this free kick.
You can't get away with that, Nathan.
Trying to plead his case there, but to no avail.
Just not happening, son.
As the former East Bryden man will go to the broadcast side wing. Outlook will fly. Schneider was there, forced a contest and got it in the direction of Jordan Marson. Heads to the attacking 50 as Verhagen turned it over. McDermott streaming through the middle. Heading out wide to Wood, who got a chopping of the arms free kick. Again, all the momentum with the Tigers at the moment as we near time on. Wood heads in the Carlin direction at the left half forward flank. Kicked the most recent goal for the Tigers. And was their 6th individual goal kicker. Wheels around, heads in the Obi Chambers direction, who'll fly. Oakes will as well. Nearly dragged in the mark. Nearly dragged in the footy as well, but umpire will call for it.
No talk then, but I would have... Obi probably should have let Oakes go for the mark because he was in a much better position.
All about to be thrown back up, and it'll be Oakes who goes up in this ruck contest. Tapped it down twice in the Jordovic direction. Roved it. Snap. Misses to the right. 20.5 minutes gone. It's Balwyn 6-10-46 to Noble Park 5-7-37.
Noble Park defence under siege at the moment. Balwyn have all the play. 6-10-46 to 5-7-37. We've just gone 21 minutes.
Just can't afford another. They can't afford another goal here, Noble.
Gutlack, the
good
target,
mark.
but over the top came Lockie Young. Great hands there.
That is a great contested mark by Young.
Sends it to the teeth of goal. Noble, he spilt it. Markovsky was there. Noble was able to recover it. His handball disrupted, but found its way to Riordan, who found himself running through space. Noble Park will take this forward. McDonnell is the target. Chasing him is McDermott. Good little battle there. McDonnell came out on top, found the handball option and kick inside forward 50 for Noble Park, but easy as you like. Marson completely outpointed in that marking contest, and Chambers is the outlet kick. Down the wing goes Balwyn again. Tillig takes the mark. Oakes has got a paddock of space. Of course, he's the target, but brilliant work back by Taborski. And that's 25 metres against Nathan Oakes. Bit undisciplined there.
He has been a little bit, his discipline has suffered a little bit this afternoon, Oakes.
Tillich needed to pull the trigger on that kick a little bit quickly. Taborski, he overcooked the kick to Riordan. He's got enough space. Oh, it's shut down very, very quickly. Put the afterburners on, managed to dismiss a tackle, and he's run too far. That is such a shame. I thought he did so well.
I reckon that was marginal.
I think that was too.
Gee, I've seen longer.
Yeah.
Obviously, you don't want to buy real estate off this umpire.
22.5 minutes gone. Balwyn found themselves in the ascendancy by 9 points. After it's been a goal-for-goal affair. Silvani, the switch option. Where to from here? He's going to go to Barry, but over the top came Kane.
I don't think Noble is actually doing too much wrong here. Just Balwyn are able to transition a little bit quicker. They're just preempting what's going to happen a little bit quicker and getting on top of Noble that way.
Yeah, I think they're trying to switch the ball and try and run Noble Park's legs out, I reckon.
Yannickadakis, good little tap down to Urban. Had to turn tackler though. Urban found it again. Umpire
Good
did
thing
not see
umpires
that.
don't listen to these games, Brash.
Schreiber bustled over the line.
I'm putting my hand up in the air and doing that like I'm hammering a nail. That's a throw.
If you yelled it loud enough, which team would they penalise?
Yannickadakis. Gutlack was hanging off him. Yannickadakis managed to find it to Schreiber. And the kick turned over immediately. Mark's been taken by Nick Einard.
Playing off a half-back flank now after starting in midfield, dancing his way out of trouble eventually after getting the handball away. We'll get this ball back from Quaife under immense pressure from Markovski. Still dished it off to McDonald. It's inside forward 50 where he's got a lone target. There on the ground is Molinaro. Snap, misses to the right.
Had to kick that.
He did. That would have given them a bit of momentum heading into the final break.
I just loved that quick transition from Noble, though. That's what you need in this game. It's so tightly contested. Any quick movement is going to throw the opposition out.
McDonald has probably hit Noble Park players in 4 advantageous positions this quarter to kick goals, and they haven't been able to take use of his good his work.
As Young takes the kick in, heads to this broadcast side. Boyd will fly, as will Taborski. Spilt the mark, still got it on the ground and got the handball away to Molinaro. Back to Taborski. Taborski's teammate turned it over. That might have been Isaac as the kick went searching for Jordovic. Forced the contest. Chambers is there to help him out. Went into the middle of the Pat Wright Senior Oval. Teammate under immense pressure. Knuckles, one of the tacklers, and a ball up. Forward of centre for Balwyn.
Balwyn will be happy with that because even though they had the run of the ball, there was 3 Noble Park guys waiting for the ball to come out.
Napa won the tap down, searching for Jordan Marson. Tapped it to Einord. Broke a tackle, got the handball away to McDonald. McDonald going inside forward 50. Could this be an opportunity for the Bulls? Marson is there at the small of the ball, as is Liam McDermott. Silvani on his haunches. In the meanwhile, his teammates are able to work it out, and McDermott goes inboard with a good kick to Isaiah Markowski. Centre wing far side of the Pat Wright Senior Oval. Just looks to take a bit of time off the clock. Lamont.
But he also noticed he had 2 players coming to the interchange bench and couldn't afford to go into the forward 52 men down.
As Lamont went searching for Jack Boyd. Couldn't take the mark.
Brash, there's a bit of a key difference, I think, structurally at the moment from what I'm seeing. So Balwyn are setting up with really good around the contest with like 2 in that sweeper sort of role. And whereas Noble are probably having more players flood down into the back line. So it's like a back and forth between both of these just because of that.
Boyd back into the ruck.
The flooding's a more defensive mechanism, trying to stop the opposition from scoring rather than you being proactive and trying to score yourself.
Well, both of those structures are actually both defensive as well. So that flooding that you just said there, but also having the 2 sweeper-like roles, which means that you're going to have to come out the back and then move across.
Ball up on the wing. In the shadows of 3/4 time. Schreiber tried to get rid of it. Somehow was able to do so.
So it looks like if one of those teams actually start to be a bit more proactive, we might see a bit more scoring opportunities in the last, hopefully, 30 seconds or so.
How long do you reckon, Brush?
Another 2 minutes.
Back in we go. Napa and Boyd into the ruck contest, but the clearance goes the way of Noble Park. Roved by Lever. Chain of handballs for Balwyn. Scananduna, a sky ball to centre half forward. He really got onto that one. Carlin couldn't quite take it. Noble tapped it to Jones. Skirmish at centre half forward for Balwyn. They come away with the ball briefly. Markowski, hands it out. This is Jordovic from the arc. Beautiful goal.
That is exactly the goal that Noble Park didn't need on the stroke of 3/4 time.
Balwyn, they build their lead even further. They're up now by 14 points.
But that transition from the back 50, it was cold, it was calculating, and it was calm, and that was what Balwyn were able to do, and that's what set up the contest. They didn't panic when they had numbers in the contest and Noble Park was surrounding. They just let the ball play on its merits, and they got the just reward.
That really hurts heading into 3/4 time for the wheels around, goes in the Oaks direction. Slidham took the mark. And it could be 4 in a row for the Tigers after the 3/4 time siren.
Well, I said 28, Josh, and Noble Park, have they run out of petrol tickets here?
As Oaks comes in, 40 metres out, make sure of it. And his teammates get around and Musson with 3 for Noble Park. We're going to go to a break here. When we return, we'll bring you the final quarter of action in the King's Birthday clash between Noble Park and Balwyn.
As Sarah opened her best friend Jackie's wedding invitation, she was overcome with a wave of emotion. While her two young boys wrestled on the floor, tears of happiness rolled down Sarah's cheeks as she saw the words she'd been longing to see. Please note, this wedding will be a child-free event. Well, Sarah, looks like we're off to Eastland for a new frock and some heels. Let's book in that babysitter. For all of life's little moments, there's Eastland. Eastland. Live real.
At Yarra Valley Water, we know reducing your shower time, or show time, to 4 minutes can save you an average of $200 a year on water and energy bills. Shower shorter. Save water. Authorised by the Victorian Government, 1 Treasury Place, Melbourne.
Sprained your ankle, bursting through the banner, broke a finger, high-fiving the ruckman, or did you run into the goal post again? For bumps, breaks or bleeds, be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department. The preferred provider of emergency care to the Eastern Football Netball League. Sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department 26.
Is a bank you can feel good about. They share their profits to fund big community projects, small community clubs and vital emergency services. They've given $250 million to help Australian communities thrive. They have all the products and tech you expect, or search Bendigo Bank near me.
The superpower I'd love for a day is to fly.
If I could have a superpower for a day, it would be to time travel, so I could go back and see how life was when my parents were young and stuff like that.
Be mind reading. It's always good to know what other people are thinking.
At Tobin Brothers Funerals, their superpower is always providing compassionate care to families at their absolute time of need. Get to know the team at tobinbrothers.com.au. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
Hi, I'm Ben Desson from Montrose Football Netball Club, and when I need a new kit for a night out, I head over to Eastland. But Eastland is more than a shopping centre. They support a range of community organisations and have been major partners of the Eastern Football Netball League since 2018. Thanks, Eastland.
You are listening to Radio Eastern FM 98.1.
With live and exclusive coverage of the EFNL football season.
38 Josh Ward here, alongside Jared Beanland, Wayne Brasher, Emily Mackay and Paul Yukone. We're going to go to you first for some...
Lead over Oakley District 7-3-45, and the Basin lead 11-8-74 to Whitehorse 2-1-13.
Gee, that game's over.
That's a massive margin out there at Battering Reserve. And some interleague updates. The under-15 boys Division 2 side nearing three-quarter time is the AFNL AD leading the Frankston District and Junior Football League. 14 out there at the Kennedy Community Centre. If you want to catch that game, head to the AFNL YouTube page as well. Blake Tennant and Oscar Lutger on the call out there. And we got a final result as well from Walker Park for the under-15 girls. It was the AFNL 64 defeating the Southeast Juniors 14 in that contest.
15 minutes of high-pressure football by Noble Park, and that put any sort of perceived probably leg speed and their lack of depth. Also, the ball movement into the forward 50 was a lot cleaner in that quarter, and the fact that there was going to be a moment in time where one of these two sides was going to take this game by the scruff of the neck. Unfortunately, 4 goals in that 6 to 7 minute period from the 20-minute mark of the third quarter was enough just to break the back of Noble Park.
Highly contested, and we did say that one of these teams has to be really proactive.
Yeah.
The first one to do that is going to be the one that breaks open the game. And what ended up happening, Noble was just chasing tail for a little bit in that last 5 minutes, which allowed Balwyn to get those scoring opportunities. And if that's going to be the same case for the rest of the quarter, Noble are going to have to start to come forward to defend a bit more and put the pressure on from their back line into the mid so that they can stuff up.
Well, it's almost like now that Noble Park have got a lot of, it could be a lot of, it might just make it a bridge too far for Noble Park, Josh.
And I'm just noticing in Noble Park's attacking 50, Dan Napper and Jacob.
And they've taken their best backman out to try and, force a result here.
Well, they're going to be just pumping the ball forward and getting it as quick as they can down the line. That's what they've got set up for that right now. So I think that's what they're hoping for. It won't be the back line. It'll just be, like, they do well in contests. So that's what they're going to be focusing on here.
As you said, great risk comes great reward for the Bulls. Will it pay off, Jared Beanland?
Well, it's the triangle offense. Is it the Noble Park Bulls or is it the Chicago Bulls?
Yep.
The tackle came from Riordan. Brilliant pressure on Markowski, and Noble Park will win the first free kick. Good option out here. Keane led up onto the wing. Where to from here, though? Options do present themselves. He's going to go down the line. He has to be smart with this one. I think he was. And the mark's been taken by Marson.
They need the opening goal here, Noble Park. They've got to try and generate some self-belief back here.
Ben Marson searching for options. Silvani the loose at the moment. Sorry, not Silvani. Yannikadakis is the loose. And he kicked it to Napa. But over the top, the mark was taken by the Balwyn defence, and it's Young to send it right back where it came from. Marson could take this one. Contested for it with Tillig. And Lever gets the scrambly kick. Quaife did well, putting himself in the way. Threw it, according to the umpire, however. That's punishing.
Well, that was a good call by the umpire because he was in the perfect position to pay that free kick.
Markowski to Lamotte. And the mark's been taken on the arc. And Balwyn to charge forward once more.
Lamotte's been huge in this second half. His passing, by accuracy passing, has really put Balwyn in the box seat here.
Chambers gave his man the step, but Noble Park will win it back. Safe mark taken in the pocket. It's Noble Park, they're really going to try and work this one out. Onto the wing, Gautlak, the intended target. Lockie Young came across. Tillig punched it forward, but Riordan was there. Now Noble Park surging forward, one-on-one. Barry has to do really well. Tried to get the fist away. Was able to beat Bauer to the ball. Bauer slipped over, and Barry had plenty of teammates here to help out. Silvani came up from defence. Oh, he just slipped over his own feet by the looks of it. Great tackle laid by Glide, and Noble Park will go forward.
Can they go inside forward 50 with a clean entry? No, they can't, because it falls well short. Barry was there, as was Liam McDermott, putting his body on the line. Marson applies the tackle.
I actually think Silvani's foot actually planted himself in that grass there. And he stumbled over himself there.
All thrown back up, left half forward flank for the Bulls. Yannikadakis won it down. Schreiber will run onto it. Evade one tackler. Could have been too far there. Not paid from the umpires. He heads in the Oaks direction. Flew couldn't complete the grab. Morgan's there on the ground. He's done a good job on Oaks today. Bar that patch in the third quarter as Shortervik turned it over. Headed inside forward 50 in the Jack Tillig direction. Couldn't take clean possession. Jack Boyd could. Got the handball to Oaks, who tried to break one and turned it over. McDonald sends it to true centre half back where Einoid couldn't receive the handball. Urban to Schreiber. Donkey ball. Tillig is there! And got boots a ball before he impacted the post. And that could be the dagger for Noble Park. 1964 Balwyn to Noble Park, 5:8:38. 3.5 minutes gone, final quarter.
He's had such a great game, McDonald, and tried his heart out for Noble Park. And the only time that he's had one bad possession, and it's cost him a goal.
That's the dagger for
That
Noble,
is-
I reckon.
yeah.
They're all walking. It looks like they've started to run out of legs as well. So it's a big ask for them to come back from this one. Not impossible, but a big ask.
It's similar to last year's King's Birthday clash, which you did, Jared, out of Balwyn Park, where Balwyn in the last quarter were able to run over the top and win by, I think, about 7 goals or something like that.
Yeah, the flow of the game definitely is very familiar. Yannikadakis got this tap. Urban shoveled it out to Schreiber. Just lost hand to the ball. Invited the tackle. In comes Glide as well. And Gautlak were able to halt Balwyn's advance. But in the grand scheme of things, I'm not sure if they'll be able to. Holding, and it'll be going the way of Nikita Yannikadakis to send it forward. Good option over the top, but the kick... Oh, he had to wait for it, did Markowski. Slipped to ground. The handball was pressure affected. He kept going tenaciously. Ball in dispute, and the umpire will break it up.
Gatlak is probably lacking a little bit of experience in his body positioning here.
Over the top he goes. No, went too early. Did Gutlock, and Lever is able to find Barry. Just kicked it off the side of the boot. It was smothered. Einord able to Fossick for it at ground level. Noble Park. Oh, just over the head of Marson. That is frustrating, no doubt, for the Bulls. Mark taken by Lever. And, wow, gee. Bit of a comedy of errors going on here as his kick was just along the ground. Einord won the free kick. Kicks it to centre half forward. Silvani, he's got the height advantage over Noble. Was able to punch it. Now it comes to Marshall. Back to Silvani. Young and Chambers all linking up onto the wing. Tigers advance forward once more. Just over the top. In dispute now. Boyd was there. Balwyn send it forward. Good mark and defence. Diving stuff. Desperate stuff by Callum Morgan.
Had a good game in defence, Morgan. Goes to the left half-back flank. Lockie Quaife.
Did a really good job on Oaks for a couple of quarters there.
Sure did, as Quaife kicks a good one to Jacob Noble. Started on fire in the first half, went out of it, you'd say, in the third term. But looked inside forward 50, in the Ben Marston direction. Lamont with the big fist. He's had a really impressive game, the North Melbourne VFL listed man. McDonald applies the tackle.
We saw Balwyn do this against South Belgrave a couple of weeks ago. South Belgrave went up to the contest up until three-quarter time, and then it was the method that overtook the madness. And Balwyn are very good at playing the method. Very pace and very well thought out games.
Yannickadakis won it down to Lever, to Urban. Centre wing, far side, where the intercept grab's taken by Isaac. Headed in the Noble direction. Silvani should run onto it first. Is escorted over by Jacob Noble.
And at the moment, Balwyn can play the game on their terms.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
You know, they've got a 4-goal lead, basically a 5-goal lead. They can wax lyrical for the majority of the afternoon here now.
Marston tapped it back in the direction of Noble, put his teammate in Einord under a lot of pressure. He's had a really good game for the Bulls. Marston locked up by Lever, turned it over. Yannickadakis to Urban, who started to step it up and get some possession in the last couple of minutes. Slimming to Jordovic. Jordovic going down the line where the kick's intercepted by Morgan. As you mentioned, Jared, done a great job on Nathan Oakes for the first 2 quarters before Oakes went on that run late in the third, as did Balwyn. He heads in the Marston direction. Silvani flew and was happy to see that over for a boundary throw-in. So 7 3/4 minutes played. It's Noble Park 5-8-38, trailing Balwyn 9-10-64.
It's had a serviceable game this afternoon, Silvani's. Ben, he's done, he hasn't fluffed his lines.
Makoski tried to come through. It was Jordovic in the end who came away with it. Balwyn with a lateral ball to Lever. Lamont, an option. No. Not going that way. Down the line it will be. Moves the tall timber down there. It just comes off hands. Roved there by Wood. Gets it to the running player. The fires away at goal and slams it into the woodwork. Still wobbling. Unfortunate end to a decent campaign forward for Balwyn, as Noble Park will bring this one back in. Kick to the pocket. They really have to put the pedal to the metal if they're to get anywhere close to Balwyn in this game. Morgan just trying to switch and spread the Balwyn defence wide open, but isn't quite working out here for the Bulls. The kick was really pedestrian, easily turned over by Balwyn. Boyd had more space than I thought he did, but less space than he thought he did. Ended up pressurised, and the ball trails over the boundary line.
When you consider that the average goal per minute in Premier Division is around 7 or 8 minutes, it's actually hard to see how Noble Park are going to kick a winning score now.
Perhaps only consolation prizes on offer for the Bulls.
But I think too, Jared, I think Balwyn have kicked the ball better to player and position in the second half.
I have to agree. Guthloak was able to get the tap down, bursting through the balls. McDonald up the corridor, 1-on-1. Good little use of the body there by Noble. Was able to handball it over to Marson, and Keane takes the mark. Great little finesse by Noble and by Marson. And Keane, the veteran.
If this goal gets scored, surely that's the best goal assist of the day.
Yeah, 100%. Over the shoulder it was.
Well, Kevin Keane, in my estimation, so he's had a busy day. He's been busy.
He's been a busy bee.
Yeah, he sort of flitted in and out and played his role. He has played his role.
He has.
On the path, little stutter step on the kick. Oh, no, not quite. Just drifted to the left and one behind.
And they just can't buy. They can't buy a goal for love nor money at the moment here in Noble Park.
5-10 it moves to. 5-9 still.
39 plays 65, 10.5 minutes played here. Barry down the line. Tillich will fly. The spoil was affected by Jones, but it was in favour of Balwyn. Wood heads to the left forward pocket and it bounces over.
See how quick that transition was. Balwyn has still got plenty of run in the legs, where Noble Park, it's a labouring effort for them to get the ball into their inside 50 now.
Well, that was always going to be the case with this game. It was whoever was going to be able to move the ball quicker towards the back end of the game.
And money would have certainly been on Balwyn in that case, given the experience they do have. And they look set to move deeper inside the top 5 as Boyd's kick. Yes, it's gone from one pocket to another and it'll bounce.
Reminds me of that song, We're on a Kick to Nowhere. I'm sure our man BWS down in Tassie will be enjoying the broadcast this afternoon.
There was someone watching from Tasmania as well. Shout out to him.
It'll be our man BWS.
As getting the check side away, might have been Markowski to the left.
Yeah, unfortunately,
Well, if he is listening, I heard him commentate the other day, and I thought it was absolutely unreal. So
he's
to him.
awesome.
He is one of the best.
I think he might be back next week, actually, or sometime soon.
The 20th, he's
The week
back.
after.
Oh, dream team, I'll be there. There we go.
Kick came into the pocket, Noble Park.
Let's not look too far ahead of him. We'll just go there. Let's take it 1 week at a time.
Oh, speaking of 1 week, I think I've got a game on that day. I won't be there.
Well, that's our loss that you're not going to be with us that day.
I like coming here because I get compliments. This is nice.
Lever took the intercept mark from that big pack on the wing, was able to send it forward.
And Noble have just really slowed up in this game.
Sting as well and truly gone out. Tillich
I think
out of his hands.
those sides that are on the bottom, the best they can do, or one of the best things they can do is contest very heavily from a physicality perspective. South Belgrave do it. Obviously, Noble are doing it. And it holds up for a good half, and then you kind of get found out in that third and fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Boyd wrestles with Marson, just takes it out of the ruck contest. Show of strength it was. Bouncing ball. Noble Park able to find it in the clinches. Keane now slams it forward, running back onto it is Verhagen. No, just stopped in its tracks, the ball was by Balwyn. And the mark's been taken on the wing.
He's been the general in the second half, Ned Lamont.
Lamont, yeah, indeed. Lever just to find a way forward for the Tigers. Noble Park good enough in the contest to disrupt it to Borski. They're under plenty of pressure. The boundary line will probably be their friend in the end.
What do we think about this Noble move to the forward line? Do you reckon it's because there was probably a quieter third quarter? So trying to create opportunity?
I understand why Steve made the moves to try and generate, some forward pressure, but it hasn't worked.
Riordan will find it out the back of the contest. Good pickup it was. And Noble Park will go forward. One-on-one. Lamont v. Verhagen. Lamont wins out with aplomb, but
He
was
slipped.
pressurised, slipped, and gave the ball back up to Noble Park. It's Jacob Noble with Schreiber for company. One-on-one. How well does the former Collingwood VFL player do? He had Wise for assistance, and over the boundary line, the ball and sundry went.
Enjoy your ride down on the train, Jared. Going through that lovely new tunnel of it.
Oh, yes, indeed. It was the first time I went on into any of the new stations, actually.
Yeah, it's not bad. Pretty good, isn't it?
Yeah.
Very nice.
Nice trains.
Why are we talking about trains?
Because he come down by train.
We've lost our marbles.
Oh, dear.
No, Brash has lost his marbles.
I'm just trying to make small talk here.
The man likes trains, all right?
Yeah. It's certainly not a pickup line, I can guarantee you.
Well, you can tell it's 15 minutes gone in the final quarter with Balwyn with a commanding lead here at Pat Wright Senior Oval. Carlin upended.
Oh,
opportunity for Balwyn, for Noble Park to kick the goal from the arc. Great stuff by Sam Glide, just glides it through.
I don't say that as like a barrack for Noble, but just that's exciting.
That's something.
That is, it's something. We have another goal.
And also, I want to beat Blake in this tipping competition that only exists in my head and nowhere else.
At the moment, no one's going to be beating Blake. not based on today's.
I'm going to do a knockout
because
with
no
Blake.
one's going to gain on Blake today. Because every one of the tipsters have picked the same winners, the same sides. Anyway, no, that was a
good goal.
That was a good goal by Noble Park. They've worked hard.
4 more goals. Let's go.
Not completely out of it.
I'm a Carlton supporter. I grew up as a Carlton supporter, so I've got hope.
Just
how?
Yeah, I don't know either. As Yannick tried to take matters into his own hands, Riordan, handball to Bauer, another forward 50 entry for the Bulls as they head in the Verhagen direction. Good grab.
You asked how, Jared. This will be how.
He plays on immediately, dishes the handball off to Jordan Marson, heads to the hot spot where his brother Ben is. Silvani spoiled it down to Wise. Wise to Lockie Young. Young heads to the broadcast side where Carlin will fly, as will Goutlock. Couldn't complete the grab. Lever his head nearly taken off. Still got it away to Urban. Urban to Yannick. Sweeping handball found Obi Chambers, who went to Tillig. Inside forward 50, the ball goes. It spills out the back here for Wood, who can run onto it. Snap and put a sealer on the game.
And that's how not.
So how it works as a Carlton supporter from the early 2010s. So you didn't win many games, but the games that you won was like the comeback game against Essendon when you're 43 points down, and all of a sudden that's one of your 4 games that you won throughout the season.
And don't forget about what happened just over a week ago at the MCG.
Exactly. It's a soul-destroying experience. But you get optimistic in those really dark times because they seem to be the only games that you win.
The coach saver games, the ones that the ones that make it seem like they've got life.
Anyway, moving on. Trains.
10-12, 72. That's Balwyn. Noble Park 6-9, 45. 17.5 minutes gone. And Molinaro will take the advantage of this clearance that the Bulls got. Managed to get the handball back to our number 34 out there that we've yet to identify.
I reckon it is Charlie Schneider because I haven't seen a number 25 on the ground. So for Noble Park, that is.
So the debutant it is. Well, he managed to rove that clearance. Bauer was there, fires it to Riordan, able to step through, into traffic. As Mikulski laid the tackle, ball up on the wing.
For Noble Park, though, they still take a bit away from this game, I reckon.
Yeah, they do.
Still winless on the season, however, something to write home about. They gave the reigning premiers quite a bit of trouble for that first half.
Paul Yukone in the stats centre.
One stat I think Noble will be very happy with today is the tackle count. They lead that 47-34.
Yeah, that gives them something to hang their head on, Paul.
Free kick given away.
And I also think they play South Croydon, who will allow Noble Park to stay in the contest as long as they want, because South Croydon can't put sides away at the moment, even when they have the advantage early on. So Noble Park will still feel themselves a chance of winning the game in a couple of weeks' time.
Tillig was the lead-up option, as he has been for so much of today. It's a skirmish in Balwyn's forward line now. No clear possession, all tackles. No one going anywhere.
19 minutes gone. Noble Park 6-9-45, playing Balwyn 10-12-72. Out here at the Pat Wright Senior Oval, a sun-bathed Pat Wright Senior Oval as well. As we enter the shadows of the final quarter, or enter time on, as the kick will be intercepted by Yannick. Lets it ride, drifts to the left, and might be out of bounds on the fall. Umpire calls it a boundary throw-in, so that's another win for the Tigers, who next week certainly have a winnable opportunity, or a tough game, in fact, against Roval out at Balwyn Park. So, although the Hawks will have been disappointed after their loss to Doncaster East, which was a bit of a surprise, so you never know. Particularly if they get key players back as balls tossed back into play. Ben Marson going up in ruck, Morgan locked up there. But Noble Park, I think, enter it next week 50-50 out here at the Pat Wright Senior Oval.
Most definitely.
As Tillig won the tap down from behind. Glide is there, as was Einord.
For basically, by the time this game's over, they've probably played 3 solid quarters of football.
Yeah.
So that still puts them right in the game next week against South Croydon.
As Urban got it to Markovski, who turned it over with the handball. Quaife onto his non-preferred right. Lamotte and Keane going in a one-on-one. It's Keane who wins out. Has been serviceable today. Inboard to Marson. Marson straight through the middle where his teammate slipped at the wrong moment there in Schneider. Went over the top of McDermott though. Was under pressure from Riordan. Apply some more good pressure on Isaac Barry. Still got a handball away in time to Chambers. Chambers back to McDermott, who's again had a good season and a solid game as well. Urban slipped at the wrong moment. Still got boots of ball and kicked it out of bounds on the fall in front of the scoreboard, which reads Noble Park 6-9-45 to Balwyn 10-12-72.
The key difference is Balwyn just being able to get those numbers back quicker than what Noble have.
Yep.
Pack on the wing. Mark taken. Good hands. And this is Verhagen. Trying to go the lateral, the outside kick to Quaife. Kick and a half from goal. Noble Park, I'd say threatening, but I feel Balwyn would feel hardly threatened at this point of the game.
See, we look at D50 now, and there's, what, 5 on 3? Well, no, 7 on 4.
Well, Keane picked the eyes out of Noble. Didn't quite take the mark, though. And Balwyn are going to run in waves with this. Over it goes to Wise. Wise finds the man in space, which is Oakes. The overlap kick taken by Carlin. And a one-on-one lead-up option into the pocket. Didn't quite take it. But Forge tried to craft a kick at goal. Not quite.
That was extremely methodical. They had no options there, coming out to the wing and then centering it. Very good running patterns.
22nd minute mark of the last quarter, the way that Balwyn still moved that ball in transition from back 50 to forward 50 just shows that they're not far off producing their absolute best football over 4 quarters.
Still got a lot of key names to come back into the lineup as Noble took a strong grab. Looks to play on immediately because he's got McDonald running through the middle of the Pat Wright Senior Oval. Barry couldn't drag in the intercept grab. Still got possession. Handballed it to McDermott, who was under duress. Turned it over to Keane. Keane's handball was nearly overcooked for his teammate. High up and under ball. Searches for Daniel Nappy. Young with the spoil. He's been good in this second half, the former AFL name. As Glide was there. I have been impressed with Lockie Young playing as that general down in defence.
Yep.
Started the game in midfield and then I think it was him and Schreiber that swapped and it's paid dividends from Sanderson. As is the move for Yannick Adakis going in ruck as he went up there. Napa won it down to Lamotte. And Markovski at the front of the stoppage. Faked the kick, sold the candy and went too far.
Oh, well. 1-1.
I was going to say almost poetic justice there for the Bulls.
1-1 for the overrun.
As we'll have a free kick, and it might be Luke Molinaro, who did shank a shot a little bit earlier from a similar distance. So we'll look to just go short to Ben Marson, who's inside the centre square, probably too far out to score. Although in saying that, does have a decent boot. Heads to the left forward pocket where Young will fly and clunk a strong grab.
It's almost like he picked him out, though.
He was looking for Taborski, but Young just read it best. And again, I've been impressed with what he's done as that loose in defence for the Tigers. As he looks towards the far side. Boyd will fly, force a contest, and it'll bounce out of bounds for a boundary throw-in.
This is where, when you've got your experienced players, Josh, this is when they come to the fore. Just the poise that's just required to take the sting out of the game.
Back to play. Marson up by Brash. But it's going to come right back.
You can either be a commentator or a spectator, but you can't be both.
I can't commentate, so I'll have to spectate.
That's my favourite line on the bench when my bench gets crazy. You're either a player, a coach, or a spectator. Pick one.
25 minutes gone. I'll definitely remember that one, Em. Urban wraps up.
Take up a coaching career, Jared.
I reckon we might go about, I think we'll go around 26.5, 2070.
So in those terms, it's 1.5 to 2 minutes left. Marshall tried to find it, actually lost the ball, but was able to tackle Keane at the bottom of that.
I'm not used to this early finish.
No, not either. So for all those tuning in on Radio Eastern, means we'll have a slightly earlier finish than normal.
Normally be about probably half-time or midway through the third quarter.
Yeah.
As sending it forward was Lever. Perhaps sun in the eyes there for Jones as he lost it in translation. However, was composed enough to get it to a teammate. Oh, Morgan overwhelmed by Oakes, but...
Well, Jared, we haven't seen much sunlight this week in Melbourne.
No, absolutely.
It's so beautiful.
Been very windy this week.
It has been.
I reckon I could go out there and get a bit of a tan with what's on offer there.
And it's Morgan to...
Anyway,
take
back
this
to the
free
contest.
kick.
I was just thinking about trains then.
No.
Oh, no.
Oh, dear. Lamont, well, it's all over here at Pat Wright Senior Reserve, and it's Balwyn 10-13 at 73 to Noble Park 6-9-45. They were made to work for it throughout that first half, the Tigers, but Noble Park just weren't able to keep up with the class that Balwyn are able to put forward time and again here in Premier Division. And here's Josh Ward with the goal kickers.
The major goal kickers, Jordan Marson with 3, Nathan Oakes with 3, and 2 to Harry Wood coming in that second half. Single goal kickers, Lachlan McDonald, Kevin Keane and Sam Glide for Noble Park, whilst with the Tigers, Isaiah Markowski, Stephen Slimming, Jack Tillich, Jack Boyd, Caleb Jordovic and Elliot Carlin got on the scoreboard. But an impressive win for the Tigers. Wayne Brasher and Emily Mackay, still a lot to take out of it for the Tigers,
Yeah.
or Noble Park I should say.
Noble Park were gallant for the majority of the afternoon. It just came down to 10 minutes of football late in the third quarter where Balwyn just broke the game open and were just able for the rest of the game to have the game on their terms over a tiring Noble Park who never gave up, but they just didn't have enough quality in the end, especially in their forward 50 to kick a winning score.
Yeah, it was just really that transition into forward 50 was probably the biggest challenge I saw for Noble. From a skill perspective, they were doing great when they were switching, across from one side to the other. Their movement outside of defensive 50 was phenomenal. That 10-minute bit of footy that you're talking about there was where they did get let down. And again, just not having that tool in the forward line or not being able to actually just get any sort of any opportunities there, that's what let them down. So, but a lot of that footy was really good football. I'm surprised that they're so low on the ladder after watching that.
Yeah, well, I mean, look, there's not a lot of room, there's not a lot of margin for error in Premier Division. You just got to be off, 5, 6, 7 minutes, even against two sides that are ranked lower in the ladder, and the game will turn on a dime. And it happened last time here when they played Vermont. It was a game that could have gone either way, but it didn't go their way. Sometimes, like I said, when you don't get the rub of the land, it makes it really hard when you're trying your best and you're not seeing enough result for your efforts.
Yeah, and I'd say that'd be pretty disheartening. I suppose a lot of my experience is in the Division 1 of this league, and that's the stark difference between Premier and Division is you get punished for those little things, whereas you can probably get away with it in a Division 1.
See, the hardest thing now for Noble Park is they're now 0-8. Before they can overtake even the sides that are sitting 3 and 5 or 4 and 4, they're not. Even if they get on a run, they're not going to be able to pass them to at least round 14. The margin for error.
Boundary.
Let's go boundary side. Jared Beanland.
Thank you very much, Brash. I've got Lockie Young, mate. Brilliant game out there. It was very difficult for that first half, but how did you guys end up, in your mind, breaking it open in that second half?
Yeah, I think it was just our connection forward to centre. We were winning enough footy and getting it forward. We just weren't using our forwards they were presenting, and we kind of just dumped it in there. Their number 8 behind the ball at the start of the game was a real problem for us. So just changed up a few structural things and started to kick through it rather than bombing on the head. And our heat around the ball was much better. So there wasn't a lot to change. It was just scrappy and a bit of ball use stuff.
And very good start to the season. It's starting to really build for you guys. How does it feel coming towards that the second half of the year with this sort of momentum?
Yeah, really good. We've obviously started a little bit slow. We're not playing some of our best footy, but to be on the even side of the win-loss at this point of the year is good. We'll get a few soldiers back towards the back end of the year and hopefully come home strong.
Awesome. Thanks, mate. Get in and enjoy the win.
Thanks there to Jared Beanland down on the boundary. So we won't go to a break here. We might go through our awards. We've still got the Tobin Brothers Goal of the Day. We've got our Cryo Stay Young Eastland Best on Ground to be awarded. So our 3, 2 and 1. And from there, we'll quickly go around the grounds to Paul Yukone. But of course, we'll go through our awards first up. And we might wait for Jared Beanland. But I mean, he was impressive today, and it'll be interesting to see how our votes go, Emily and Brash.
Yeah, it could be a mixed bag, I reckon, because I didn't really see, there wasn't a four-quarter performance by one player this afternoon. I thought there were players, a couple of players played 3 quarters, a couple played 2.5, but there wasn't a solid, four-quarter performance. So I guess we're looking for players that had impact on the contest, which shaped the destiny of the game, Josh.
I certainly think so. We might go with our Tobin Brothers Goal of the Day award before Jared does come up. I think I had circled down a Lachlan McDonald goal, his only goal of the game, which was a pretty decent one from memory. Kevin Keane. I think there was an Isaiah Markovsky goal in the first quarter, potentially, but Stephen Slimming also had that good running goal in the second term as well, which I admit was impressive, but
I thought one of Marston's 3 was...
Yeah, from distance.
Yeah,
Jordan.
Look, on a day where goals were like worth gold bricks, and I mean, yes, there were some difficult shots, but he was really having to kick the ball from long out. I think there was one, I think it was in the third quarter, I think, where he kicked that ball from 50 metres.
I think there was one in the fourth quarter as well, so why not give it to Jordan Marston?
Yeah, I'm happy with that. What about you, Em?
I had Wood and Carlin, but I'm happy to go with you guys.
Yeah, it wasn't.
I like this. I liked the snaps down in the 50 just in front of us here.
Harry Wood did have a pretty good goal, as we are rejoined now by Jared Beanland, and we'll get do you have a nomination for the goal of the day? We're tossing up between Harry Wood and Elliot Carlin as well, kicked that good goal, but there was also Jordan Marston who kicked some pretty impressive goals.
Yeah, I reckon you've got it down pat there, to be honest. It was a very difficult day for goals, no doubt. I think the Cullen one, honestly, that was the one that really stood out to me.
I reckon Paul Yukone has the deciding vote then. Who do you vote in favour of, Paul?
Yeah, I vote in favour. Who was out again? Sorry,
Marston and Cullen.
Marston or Cullen.
I'll vote Marston.
So it is Jordan Marston who'll go home with the $50 Coles Myer gift voucher.
In that second half, he was very solid in the first half, but some quality possessions in the second half, especially in that last 10 minutes of the third quarter, with a difference between Balwyn winning and losing this afternoon. So 3 votes to him, number 17.
Call. Very good call.
Quite tight as well. Jared Beanland, you're 3, 2 and 1.
Yeah, I'm going to give one to Callum Morgan. I know he didn't get all that much of the ball necessarily, but to do a job like that on Nathan Oakes was very impressive to me. Apologies to Jacob Noble, who I thought was excellent also. Won't quite get into my votes. I'm going to give 2 to Nikita Yanakadakis. His rock work was excellent throughout the day. 3, it is a hard one because not many players did put in that
no four-quarter
performance.
Yeah, we said that I don't think you were here for that one. There's no four-quarter.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to go with... it is a hard one. I think we're going to have to agree with you there, Brash, with Ned Lamont. I think his work and disposal and just finding his way into the right places, I think that's really what stood out for me in his game.
Well, good news. I've got the deciding vote, so...
Well, that's okay. You're the host. It's only fair that you do have the deciding vote.
But also, are you doing them correctly? That's the biggest question.
I am doing them correctly. Do not fret. I'm not Blake Tennant. One vote I'm going to give to Nick Einoid. I thought he was good in midfield and off a half-back flank. His disposal was very clean, and I was impressed. I reckon he racked up close to 30 disposals, so he gets my one vote. 2 votes I'm going to give to Lockie Young. I was really impressed in that second half, in particular in defence.
Played well.
But my 3 votes, I'm going to agree with you, Brash, Jared, and Jared. I've got Ned Lamont for the 3 votes. His disposal, and even in the first half, he was still getting the disposals and trying to create opportunities. So that does mean... on 9 votes, Ned Lamont wins the Cryo Stay Young Best On Ground. Nikita Yanagadakas got the 7 votes, as did Lockie Young as well. Ben Silvani, Young actually got 5. Silvani got 3, and a splattering of Noble Park players got 2s and 1s and 3s as well. But the best on ground goes to Ned Lamont, an impressive young player as well. He wins a $50 Cryo Stay Young voucher, thanks to Eastland as well. But we might start wrapping things up here. Before we do, Paul Yukona, let's go around the grounds for some Division 3 scores.
Yeah, in Division 3, Donvale lead over Knox. Donvale 10-9-69 to Knox 7-8-50. Sylvan lead 14-12-96 over Oakley District 7-5-47.
Game over there.
And game over as well between the Basin and Whitehorse. The Basin 17-11-113 to Whitehorse 5-3-33.
Isn't there another game, Paul?
There is, but we haven't
heard anything
got new
from
scores. No.
Upper Ferntree Gully and Ferntree Gully.
That's typical of the derby.
Oh, I was going to say it's
Too busy to put scores up.
Oh, it certainly is, but hopefully a good crowd out there as well.
There would have been a crowd, because I do know for a fact, Joshy, that when they do have both clubs financially, they game big on that day, and they always look forward to those days because both clubs make a lot of money.
Noble Park would have gone a bit today as well, because there was a decent crowd, and there is still a decent crowd. The 19's currently taking place.
Well, they had to pass players.
86 Premiership reunion,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. So they were, and the Club Noble were vocal at times as well.
Everyone in Ferntree, the Ferntree guy want to keep everyone guessing until.
Maybe they might be embarrassed that the score could be not flattering to them.
Could be a big margin potentially.
Anyway,
maybe it's still just 0-0.
Let's wrap things up out here at the Pat Wright Senior Oval. A rare early finish out here with the
I'm
game.
not used to this.
Yeah, neither am I, to be honest as well. None of us are quite used to a game starting at 1:30 and wrapping up at 4 o'clock. But first to you, Paul Yukone, magnificent job in the Stats Centre and the Score Centre as always.
Thank you, guys. It was great to be here.
And Emily Mackay, a magnificent job as always on the special comments chaired. Such great insights as is always the case. Hopefully we do see you sometime soon as well. But much happening for the rest of the weekend?
I've got a game tomorrow, so Sandy is outside of that.
Absolutely. Brush? Rush, what about yourself? As I think
Go to the city, see the new stations.
Puffin Billy.
Oh, I've been that. Oh yeah, I've already done that, Em.
But
I went there.
Great to be back calling alongside this, man. We haven't called in a while, actually.
No. It would have been sometime last year, wouldn't it?
Yeah, potentially. I think it would have been sometime last
Something
year.
like Hell Freeze.
Sorry, sometime the year before.
Yeah, I was going to say.
No, just the talent pool's so good at the moment with the media team. It's hard to get a look in to actually commentate, you know.
Chris Cordis, you better hurry up, mate. And
probably get rid of Ryan Long. Don't know about that guy.
Yeah, no. I hope he's having a good day as well today, Longy. But yeah, great stuff as always, Sharon. What's on for the Kingsford Day weekend for yourself?
Going to go to the game, Collingwood Melbourne.
Oh, that's going to
really
be
looking
great.
forward to it.
You going down the slide, Jared? You been invited?
No.
Down the slide?
Maybe I'll try to, but I think the security will be pretty heavy.
I might try to as well. Of course, Paul and I have our big freeze beanies on. Of course, we try to donate to the Fight MND cause. I think it's Fight MND round next weekend as well, or sometime in the near future as well, which is always so great around the community football leagues of Victoria and all across Australia as well. But nice to see the big freeze beanie as well, Paul.
Yeah, certainly.
Interleague live streams at the Kennedy Community Centre, the one today at Walker Park as well, and then there's more on Monday as well at a Pinks Reserve and Walker Park as well. So a busy weekend for you.
Yeah, I have been a little bit distracted. My apologies, but I'm trying to coordinate all of those and everything. We've had a couple of glitches here with the at some important times.
It's been a bit of a trip down memory lane today. We've had Bruce Prescott.
I was on the phone to him the other day, and I said, look, Abe, we're down here on the weekend. And he said, yeah. Oh, I might see if I can come by. I said, absolutely.
Yeah, so, come by.
Yeah, no, it was great to have him stop in.
And good to have Johnny Higgins back down here. We haven't had him around for a while.
The apprentice, as I call him. He's gone. No, he's gone.
And I gather he'll be the one helping you. He'll be carrying the majority of the gear down the stairs.
Only if I can get it packed up quick enough, because he's nearly packed his own stuff out.
Jeez, he's already get to get out of here is the big man, Johnny Higgins. But we'll wrap things out here at the Pat Wright Senior Oval. A great day out here for Balwyn. 10-13-73, defeating Noble Park 6-9-45.
And that's a wrap.